Hello friends, welcome to Coding Garden with CJ. Welcome to a chill stream where I will be working on a YouTube live chat manager. Now this is a chill stream because I don't really know what's gonna happen. A while back, probably like at least a year ago now, I made a video. If you search for I made a YouTube live chat manager. Basically, it would list the incoming live chats on the left. I could click a chat to acknowledge it, and then it would go to the right-hand side. It's a lot easier for me to manage incoming things as opposed to scrolling through the live chat like you've seen me doing. However, I haven't touched that thing since I did that stream like a year ago. So first, I'm going to have to find the code. Then I'm going to figure out how it works, and then we'll figure out what we're going to add on to it. So this is definitely not a tutorial. This is more of we're hanging out. You can provide suggestions, and we're going to work on that thing. But let's say hello to all the people in the chat. Hello, Katoli. Welcome to the stream. Hello, Santhos Ragav. Hello, ATD. Hello, Nicholas. Hello, VBAC. Hello, Linus. Hello, Amadou. Well, Linus says Grüezi. I don't know how to pronounce an umlaut, but he's saying that's Swiss German. Linus says the donate link in the subscription or the description is wrong. That's unfortunate because I copied this from another video, which means it's wrong in a lot of videos. You know what I can do? I can make it so that if you go to that link, it goes to the right place. Because if you go to coding.garden/donate, that will redirect to Streamlabs. But if you go to coding.garden/donate, that will say it's not found. So that's not good. People are trying to give me money and there's no way for them to. But yeah, I think I'll just make this incorrectly spelled one work because there might actually be some other videos where it's misspelled on there too. But thank you for pointing that out, Linus. ATD says, I hope everyone is having a lovely Saturday. My Saturday is pretty good. I got a lot of extra sleep, which I'm pretty happy about. Linus says, who else likes the new logo? I like the new logo. I like simplicity. I like it's recognizable when it's small. I like it. Kacholi is saying we should learn Go. I'm not opposed to it because it seems all right. Hello, Tejas. Welcome to the stream. ATD says Go looks intimidating. It's very different from JavaScript, but yeah. Hello, Avi, who says finally I'm able to join. Welcome to the stream. Hello, Levi. Who says nice to see you using that new background from Discord. Yeah, so actually, I'll show it really quick. I mean, you're not gonna be able to hear me, but take a pause. Look at this. So Infi in the Discord recommended that layout. I had to recreate it inside of OBS, Open Broadcast Studio. But yeah, it's a nice layout. Hello, Simjon, welcome to the stream. It's been a while. Hello, Ed, welcome to the stream. See, this is the issue. When I'm arrowing through the live chat, it just instantly scrolls and then I have to find my place again. This app that I built doesn't do that. It makes it very easy to keep track of what I've read and what I have not read. Hello, Rabbitworks, who says, love the new logo, CJ. I appreciate that. Yeah, it seems like this is a decent enough time to stream. 23:10, that's 11:10 p.m. in India, which is still, it's late for some, but decent enough. Hello, Julian. Welcome to the stream. Hello, Stipo? Yeah, and so it's 10:39 in Israel, but at least it's not the middle of the night. Hello, Ryan Rhodes. Welcome to the stream. Brian says, the new intro is smooth. I appreciate that. I actually sent the audio files to Tony to do some mastering on. Tony is much better at mixing and mastering of songs, but I made the music, so I used Ableton, and there's a piano, and I recorded some guitar, and there's some ukulele on there with tons of effects, but it sounds really muddy right now. Tony's gonna tighten it up, make it sound more professional. Hello, Bacha, welcome to the stream. Hello, Ali. Rabbitworks says, nice buzz cut. Appreciate it. That's actually why I streamed a little bit later, because I was cutting my hair. Hello, Orlando. Welcome to the stream. Eddie says, did you shave your head? Yes, I did. I shaved the sides. Hello, Ectoplasm. Hello, Carlos. Hello, Christopher. Hello, Karen. Rabbitworks says, much love. Depression sucks, but CJ and the good people in the world help beat it down. We're here for you, Rabbitworks. In the Discord, in the live chat, we're here for you. Yeah, see, like, this is so hard. This is the point of the stream today. We're gonna make this a lot easier to deal with, because I mean, I built it a long time ago, but yeah. Hello, Jan, who says EU friendly. What is this sorcery? Hello, James Ross. Welcome to the stream. Hello, Matcha. Hello, Sakthevel. Rabbitworks is saying, forcing through it. You gotta just keep on living is the thing. And if you have a community around you, if you keep yourself busy, it helps you from focusing on it. So yeah. Oh, Kasaba says they just moved to Colorado Springs. They're in my neck of the woods. That's awesome. Maybe I'll see you at one of the Denver area happy hours. There's some people that come up from Colorado Springs. Oh, and Rabbitworks is going live tonight, so check them out. Sanjar says, hello, how is coding? Coding is fun. I like to code. Linus is saying, did I change my microphone? I didn't. It could just be... I don't know. I definitely need to get like a compressor or like a preamp or something like that, but I haven't changed it. Hello, Infi. You're not late. We just got started. I'm still catching up on the chat. Yeah, and Katoli linked to Rabbitworks channel. You can definitely check it out. He's done... This is the other weird thing. If I'm inside of the live chat window, it should open the link in a separate window. But you should definitely check out his channel. Here. Open a new tab. There we go. So Rabbitworks has done a ton of live streams on Vue.js, and he's one of the leads in the Coding Garden community app thing. So he's done some streams on that. So definitely check him out. Stippo says, nice haircut, thank you. Hello, Andre, who's asking about fast Fourier transforms, get float time domain data. I have no idea what that is. Okay. Hello, Durkarall. Hopefully I didn't miss any hellos. And you know what? Part of building this chat app thing is I'm going to be able to see all the messages again. And ATD with the $5 super chat. Thanks for the weekend stream, CJ. Haircut looks really good. I appreciate that, ATD. Oh, which reminds me, a donation came in during the stream yesterday, but I did not notice it. Mainly, I didn't have my sound notifications on. So I'm going to give a shout out real quick, and I'll make it pop back up on the screen. Give me just a second. Yes, it was from Willie Lump Lump. I think it'll pop up. There it is. $20 donation yesterday from Willie Lump Lump, who said, thanks for your help. I was helping him out on the Discord with some Vue and Firebase issues he was having, but I really appreciate the donation, Willie Lump Lump. Thanks for that. And again, thanks to... Here it is. It should pop up. But thanks to ATD for the $5 super chat. Hello, DD Skywalker. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna pause the chat right there, and we're gonna figure out how we're gonna get all this to work. So as I mentioned, I made this like a year ago. True story. I'm in the Coding Garden directory, and I have no idea what folder this app is in. There's so much stuff that I've built and worked on. I would think I called it like YouTube, but there's no videos that begin with a Y. Maybe chat. Channel. However, if we go to this video on YouTube, I think I link to the source code on GitHub. No, I don't link to the source code on GitHub. I could watch the video to see the name of the folder that I was in whenever I created it. I think that's the way to go. Live Chat Manager. That makes sense. That's a good name for it. HIJKL. Live Chat Manager. There it is. Okay. So this is what it's like to go back to a project that you haven't worked on in a very long time. And let's see when it was last modified. Yeah, so it was last modified July 15th of 2018, which was over a year ago now. So we're going to open it up in VS Code and see what we got. If we look at the README, cool. I think the first step is to just get this thing running locally, and then we can start hacking on it. One of the things about it is you have to set the live stream ID manually. And one thing I want to work on today is I want to be able to go to this site. I want to see what are my current live streams, and then I want to go into the chat for that live stream, which you can't do right now because it's very hard-coded. I'm going to hide my screen for just a second because there might be like API keys. I just want to reacquaint myself with where all those API keys are. Cool. That's some secret stuff. There's that. Yeah, but so this isn't a key, but I do have it hard-coded. It's called the live chat ID. I'll show that in a second. So this is basically a full stack app. So I have a backend Express app, which connects to the YouTube API to get all of the latest chat messages for a given live chat ID. And then I have a client that I built with Vue.js, and it looks like I didn't even use the Vue CLI. I'll show you in a second. I just want to make sure. Okay, we're getting reacquainted with all of this. So I used the, I didn't use the Vue CLI, but I did create like an app.vue, and I think I just used the, if we look at the package JSON, yeah, I used the vue command, vue serve app.vue. So that's cool. And then if we look in the server, this is just an Express app. It gets the latest messages, and then it exposes those messages over a socket.io channel. And if we look at the routes, there is a route for getting all of the latest messages, and I have this live chat ID hard-coded. Because the issue here is to get this live chat ID, you have to make a request to the API for all of the live chats, or all of the live events for a given user to get the live chat ID. And I kind of want to be able to do that within the UI. But regardless, let's get this thing started and running. I think even before I get it started and running, I want to check the npm dependencies. So if we go into the server, so it's two separate apps. I have our client built with Vue, and then our backend built with Express and Node. If we go into the server app, let's just run an npm audit and see if we have any vulnerable dependencies, and we'll fix those before we get started coding. Well, this is also a fun little exercise to go back to something you coded on a very long time ago, and see if you can still work on it. Okay, so I'm gonna do an npm audit. Well, actually, it looks like I haven't installed the dependencies. Let's maybe I like. So this was over a year ago. Every now and then, I'll go to the root of my dev folder and run a command that deletes the node modules from every single folder. Really to save space on things I haven't worked on in a while. So I actually do need to install the dependencies first. So let's do that. And this will probably tell me if I have any vulnerable dependencies or any vulnerabilities in my dependencies. 20 vulnerabilities and this weird thing where it was trying to build like a native module and there are a bunch of errors. Okay. Let's just do npm audit fix. That should try to fix a few of the vulnerable dependencies. Oh, it fixed all of them. Okay. That's good. And I think that updates the package lock. So let's remove the node modules folder completely and then try doing an npm install again. And now we should have no vulnerable dependencies. And no weird errors. Cool. And then I guess we can start it up. So if we look back at the code, if we look at the package JSON, there is a dev script which starts node mod. So let's do that. npm run dev. All right, it's listening on port 5000. And then let's try to get the client app going. This one's going to be tricky. Oh no, because it looks like I installed the Vue CLI when it was version RC3, and so I probably need to upgrade this to just the version 3 CLI. So let's go into the client directory, and I'm gonna do I do need to do an npm install here, so let's do a. You know what? I don't want to do an npm install. I want to do an npm upgrade because I want this to be the latest version. Does that work? I might have to specify Vue specifically. It's doing a lot. So it looks like it set it up for Vue CLI 3.11 and socket client 2.2. It looks like it didn't touch the package JSON, but I think it did change the package lock. Like if we search this for @vue /, yeah, so now the package lock has the right version. I kind of want the package JSON to reflect that. I know I can just do it manually. See, does anyone in the chat know the command to, I can also look it up, but I'm about to catch up on the chat. Does anyone in the chat know the command to upgrade dependencies, but also upgrade my package JSON and not just my package lock? Because there are some people that may have an older version of npm that don't use the lock. I kind of do want it to be reflected in the package JSON. I don't know. But regardless, we should be able to start this up, hopefully. Let's do a npm run serve. Requires a global add-on to be installed. Please run yarn global add @vue CLI service global and try again. I'm not going to use yarn, but I can use npm to install it globally. And I think one thing we might do is just use the CLI to actually generate an app, because I think it's going to need multiple routes. Like first, you'll need to log in so that it can get your Google token. Then it will need to make a request to get a list of all your active events for your channel, and then you'll be able to click an event to see the live chat for that given event. None of that exists right now, but let's just try to see what we get. If we go to localhost 8080, it could be that because that live event is over. So I told you that that live chat ID is hard-coded. Let's see. I may need to figure out what is the live chat ID of this event that's happening right now. Because nothing's loaded in the UI. Just real quick, I want to make sure that it is connecting to our backend. So I can go in here. I actually already have the WebSocket filter checked, and then if I refresh, we should see some WebSocket connections. So localhost 8080, I believe this is the browser sync. So that's the WebSocket connection to automatically refresh the browser. But this one, which connects to localhost 5000, is a socket connection to my backend for the real-time messages. So we see some probes, and that's about it. There are no messages at all. Okay, I'm going to catch up on the chat, and then we'll need to figure out what is the current live chat ID. I think that's a good place to go from here. Let's make a to-do. Get the current event chat ID. So that way we can see the chat that's happening in the video that you're watching right now. And then I think I kind of want to implement Google OAuth with this. This is potentially like a reusable tool. Like other YouTube live streamers could use this. You would log into the app, grant it access. It's like an OAuth thing. And then it uses your token to request all of your events. But we'll just say like list out events for current user. That's what we need to do. Let me catch up on the chat. Hello, Handika. There might have been some other people I missed. Hello, Satya. Hello, Didi. Welcome to the stream. Hello, Yasser, who says I'm doing live streams quite often now. I'm trying my best. I'm also pretty busy. Hello, Mert-chan. Welcome to the stream. Oh, cool. Andre mentioned that they're doing some web audio API stuff. That's pretty good. So many chats, so many wonderful people. Actually, I'm gonna go to the most recent messages and see if anybody mentioned how to update the package JSON, because that's what I was looking for. VBack is saying the URL, the ID is that. So I think it's actually it's a different ID. I'm pretty sure. You know, I mean, we could try it, but if I remember correctly, last time we actually had to make a request to the API, and then there's like a live event ID. Because see, this is a bit longer than that. So we can try it. Because this ID is the ID of the video, and I think that's separate than the ID of the event. Let's like refresh this. If we look at all, I think there is a request goes out to messages, and right now that just returns an empty array. I think it's a different ID. Tejas is saying, didn't know there was an npm upgrade. Okay, yeah, so Katoli is giving me the link to the npm upgrade command. So this is actually a separate package. It is called check updates. I wanted to see if npm supported it directly. If not, we can definitely use this. But essentially what happened is I ran npm upgrade, and it only modified my package lock. It did not modify my package.json. And if everyone uses the package lock, we're good to go. But not everyone does, and I do want to make sure that if other people use this, they do have the latest dependencies as well. Matcha says implement TypeScript. I know you're just joking, but it's funny. Avi is asking, did I think of using PNPM? I didn't. I totally could. And yes, because I mentioned sometimes I run a command that deletes all of my node modules folders. If I used PNPM, I wouldn't have to do that because everything shares the same. Everything is just a link to the thing installed in one place, so you don't have copies of stuff everywhere. Okay. So I realize I'm missing a lot of chats. There are a lot of new people here. I welcome you, but first thing I want to do is I want to get this package thing updated. Katoli's saying it doesn't support it by default, at least as far as I know. Yeah, and I think Yarn has a built-in command to do it, but I do like using just npm. So let's try this npm check updates thing. It was last published 3 days ago. If we look at it on GitHub, it has 4,000 stars. It's a pretty popular package. Let's try to use it. And it looks like it's like this interactive CLI that says like, hey, these are the packages that could be upgraded. All right, so we have to install it globally. I don't know if I like that. Marku is saying Greenkeeper is pretty nice. It's free for open source project, and greetings from Finland. Hello, Marku. Let me look that up. I don't know if I'll use it. So I don't know if this does it, but I know there are open source projects out there that have like a bot that watches their dependencies, and anytime there is a vulnerability found or something, it actually automatically opens a pull request to fix and upgrade the dependencies. And I'm curious if Greenkeeper does that. Yeah, look at that, the Greenkeeper bot, beautiful. This project isn't that big, so I don't think I'm going to use that just yet. I'm going to do it manually, but this is really cool. Thanks for mentioning it. Ooh, Emmanuel has some ID. That could be it. But we're definitely going to try to hit the API to get the ID. Okay, but let's do this thing. And the thing is, I don't want to install it globally. Let's see if I can get it working without installing it globally. Let's kill the front end. And if I do npx, that might not work because they install a command called ncu, but let's see what happens. Seems like it worked. So it checked them. It says that Vue can be upgraded to that, and Socket.io client can be upgraded to that, so that's cool. And if I do -u, it automatically upgrades it. So let's do -u. Cool. I think that did it. And if we look at our package.json, yeah, it's the latest versions now. Cool. And technically, and actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to remove the package lock. Like, I want this to be totally fresh, and the package lock could have some older stuff in it. And now if I do an npm install, it's going to be the latest and greatest dependencies. Cool. So that worked. Let's do it on the back end too. Actually, let's look at our package.json. So we have we have a lot more dependencies on the back end. So we have some middlewares. Yeah, let's do it without the -u. That'll tell us what's ready to be upgraded. So it looks like Cores has a was this a minor update? This has a major update, but I don't think that's like .env usually doesn't introduce breaking changes, so I can definitely upgrade that one. And then Passport Google OAuth has a major update, so that could have some what's the word? Breaking changes. But I'm curious, am I even using this? I thought I wasn't using Passport. Looks like I am, so I am actually bringing in Passport Google OAuth. Oh, wow. I didn't realize I had Google Auth on this thing. Okay. Maybe I was working on this after the stream? I don't know. But let's just upgrade everything because we're going to need to fix it anyway. So, upgrade. And for those of you that are just joining, basically, I wrote this app over a year ago. And now we're coming back to it. there are outdated dependencies, and we're going to make it better. But let's see. Did it upgrade those ones that had breaking changes? Looks like it did. Yeah, and if we check again, we should be all upgraded. I think, again, I'm going to remove the package lock and just do an npm install. Cool. So let's remove that package lock, because when we do an npm install, it'll create a new one, and it's going to be the latest and greatest dependencies. And like I said, if things break, we'll just fix them, because that's where we are today. We don't care if we break things, because we're trying to be latest and greatest. All right, there's my break timer. Cool. Let's see if our backend still starts up. So npm run dev. Didn't break anything too bad. And looks like our front end was trying to connect to sockets and it couldn't, but now it still can. Cool. Okay, so I think we're good there. We upgraded. Done. Now let's figure out what the current event chat ID is, and let's see if that person posted one. Let's see if it's right. Even if it is right, we're still going to figure out how to get it from the API, but it would be cool to see all of the current chats that are happening right now. And so this also gets to like other features I eventually want to add, like features, search chat messages. Right now, you can't really do that. I guess I could do like a command F chat ID, but that's not ideal. The other thing I want to be able to do is label messages. So if a message is a question, I could label it. If it is like a hello or a hi, I could label it. And that's going to allow me to keep track of all these messages that are incoming. So, and I could also automatically label them. So I have a queue of people I need to say hello to. I have a queue of questions that are ordered by when those questions came in. Eventually, we could allow upvotes and... Well, I don't want to do downvotes, but you can upvotes on chat messages. So if I make it so this is something that you can log into, people that are coming to view my stream would actually see the live chat, and they could send messages as themselves. But also, if they see a message that they really like, they could upvote it, and then it's more likely that I would see that message. There's all kinds of cool things we could do. Using all of this, I could also incorporate a bot where it automatically answers questions. Like the sky's the limit. And this is kind of what I have in mind for the live chat manager. Yeah, thanks. I think Katoli gave me the docs that I need to go to. Well, let's just see if that chat ID that someone shared, this one by Emmanuel, is this right? I don't know. We'll see. Let's try it right here. We'll save it. If we look at the dev tools, it did restart. Let's make sure it restarted. And then we'll refresh. Nothing happened. I think we're gonna need to go to the docs and figure out what is the API to hit. Yeah, the live streaming API overview. I need to get the live chat ID. So let's see. Server side web apps. OAuth 2 flow. Actually, I'm actually really curious because it looks like I was in the process of setting up a Google OAuth. Because it looks like we have a callback URL. And we're requesting YouTube read only, YouTube. And it goes to callback.html. And what does this do? Oh, wow. I don't know if I wrote this on the last stream, but this will actually grab the token, redirect you to the client side, and post your token message. Whoa. I don't think I coded this on the last live stream. And then do I have the code here that's listening for that posted message? I don't think I do. It's just server side. But let's see if that actually works. So it looks like there is a route slash, I think it's /auth/Google, honestly. Am I even requiring it in? No. You know what I think happened? I think I was just coding this late one night, trying to get a Google OAuth working. This didn't happen on stream. And so now I just have a bunch of extra code in there. But regardless, let's figure out how to get the live chat ID. So I don't know if it is the live streaming API. I guess it could be. But here we go. API Explorer. Not that. I want the docs for live stream, broadcasts. I'm pretty sure I've already enabled the APIs. We may have to do that. Called the data API. The API requested must be authorized by the Google account. Sure. The live broadcast contains information about an event. All right, but what are the RESTful endpoints? Because if you look at the code here, this is hitting googleapis.com/YouTube v3 live chat /messages, and that gives us all of the incoming messages. And it looks like we call that and we pass in our API key, how many results we want, and what are the parts that we want. So this is the API. I don't see any other API endpoints. Reference. Oh, that's why. There we go. We want reference, not guide. And I want live broadcasts list. So if we do a get on this /live broadcasts, that is going to give us a list of live broadcasts. So I think we can actually just try it in the browser here, and that'll automatically use my API token, and I won't potentially expose it. But it wants which parts are we requesting, and I think we want snippet and maybe content details. Broadcast status is Actually, let's just get all of them. Broadcast type, we can leave that off. Google OAuth 2.0. Yeah, and I think that's the thing. It's not just an API key. It needs to be a particular user's key because this is requesting all of the live broadcasts for the user that is making the request. So I think I'll just pass in. Actually, let's see what happens if I only pass in the API key. Execute. 401 login required. Now if I pass in the Google OAuth 2.0 key and not the API key, it will need to validate me. I want to do this under Coding Garden with CJ. The Google API Explorer would like to view my YouTube account. I'm going to allow it. Basically, I could implement this same flow in the app that I'm building. But for now, we're just testing it. I'm going to say allow. Ta-da! And so this gives us, chill stream, working on YouTube. And the ID is that, but I think there's another ID in there somewhere. Live chat ID, that's the one. Okay. So we'll copy that. And that goes there. It's really, really big. Now our app restarts. Let's refresh the front end. And it doesn't work. Let's just double check that's the right chat ID. It'd be nice if this was a lot bigger. Can I expand this? Big. There we go. Cool. I'm glad that it doesn't show my access token. There's an E tag, there's an ID, there's a channel ID, there's thumbnails. I think live chat ID is the one that we want. I may be missing something though. Content details, bound stream ID, monitor stream, all kinds of stuff. And then we can actually see some of my older streams. And those do not have a live chat ID because they're not live. Cool. So I'm just going to double check the endpoint that I'm hitting. So I'm hitting live chat /messages. And let's look at the documentation for that. I think for now I am. Are there any other useful IDs in here? I think this is the one. I think that's the one. However, let's look at that live chat endpoint, live chat messages, which is the endpoint I was hitting. Live chat /messages. List. And live chat /messages, live chat ID. So the live chat ID specifies the ID of the chat whose messages will be returned. The live chat ID associated with the broadcast is returned in the live broadcast resource snippet.livechatID property. Okay, I think that means that I grabbed the right property. It's way longer than that other one. So that is the live chat ID. That's great. It could also be that maybe the API key I have in my .env is actually not working. Let's just see really quick. What happens if I go to localhost 5000 /messages? Returns an empty array. Get latest messages. It looks like I don't have a try catch on this get latest messages. It could actually be that this is failing because the API key is wrong. So let's put this in a try catch. Really, this whole thing should be in a try catch. Let's see where get latest messages is called. It's just exported, and then I think it's called in the main file. So if we look in index.js here, see get latest messages. Yeah, it's just directly called when the app starts up, and then basically I think it will call itself after a certain amount of time. Yeah, so it sets a timeout and then calls itself again. Okay, so I think honestly I just want to add a try catch right here. I mean, I admit this is very weird that it's like a try catch when the app is starting up. Let's see if that gives us anything in the console. Nothing there. I mean, kind of want to put a try catch around this fetch because I think that's what's failing. Honestly, I should just go get another API key, but I want to see the error that tells me like your API key is expired or not working or something like that. Really kind of need to do this. So create the variables outside the try catch, set them in the try catch, and then for now I'm just going to console.error the error if there was an error in the fetch. Is this code even running? Let's log the, just log right here. Request, okay. Requesting messages, listening on port 5000. Then let's log the, oh, you know what? It could be because it's a fetch, it actually doesn't throw an error. Yeah. Dang it. So fetch doesn't automatically throw an error if something's not a 200 status code. You have to account for that. So we should probably do that because that wasn't happening and I had no idea why it wasn't working. So really what I want to say is if result, no, actually if response dot okay, and actually if we just log response, we should see that response is not okay because the status code was 400. I think it's, let's try logging response.okay. False. So if the response is not okay, we're gonna just straight up throw an error, or at least log the thing to the console. And really, the only time this this try catch would actually catch an error is if like the server was down, and there was like a network error. So I'm gonna pull this back out of the try catch, and then we just need some custom logic that either like throws an error or just does something if the response wasn't okay. So really, what we need to do is we'll say if response.okay, then do all this stuff that I was doing before. It's a lot. Let's take a quick stretch. So let's see, is this? Yeah, and really we're only going to have a next page token. Polling interval millisecond. Yeah, really, if the response isn't okay, then this whole thing just stops. It basically will stop polling for messages, I think. Because otherwise, we don't know the polling interval, we don't have the next page token. Let's see. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do this. So all of that code goes in here. If the response was okay, we're gonna do the thing. Else, if the response wasn't okay, we need to log that result to the console. Console.error. And so the thing that's happening here is technically this is not a 200 status code. However, the response body is JSON, so we're still able to parse the response body. But then result itself is like the error result message thing. Let's see all the stuff that's in there. And so we see error.errors, and we see the code. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to log this as JSON stringify, so that way it shows us the whole thing without missing the nested stuff. So let's do JSON.stringify result, and we'll indent it with 2 spaces. So now when an error happens, we get the full error message, and it tells us that our key is expired, which would have been good to know a long time ago. But now it's good that we're actually logging that. Now let's see. Yeah, now I need to just get a new API key. So I'm gonna hide my screen for a second. I think technically it's okay to show you. No, I don't want to show you my client ID in secret, but I'll show you in my .env split second. There is a Google API key. And obviously it's expired, so I just need to go to Google and grab a new API key, and then we should see some chat messages. Okay, let's go to the Google API console. I think that's it. And then I need to select a project. I will choose Coding Garden. Then we can go to credentials. I realize you can't see my screen. We do have an API key. And it is very different from the one that I had in my .env, so we're gonna add that. And then I guess we can see which APIs this has access to. Regardless, let's restart it. Hey, no error. Okay, so I updated the API key in my .env. I restarted my server, and now if we go to the client and refresh, there's all our chat messages. Awesome. So we did it. We got an app working that we built a long time ago. But you can see on the right-hand side, I think these are the incoming chat messages. Yeah. And then if we look here, oh yeah, so these are the latest chat messages. And so as chats come in, we can see how like people start sending chat messages. Let's see what happens. But you can see as people send chat messages, those will get listed at the top here. So my view to this is kind of like the right-hand side is real time. Like at the top, I can see what are the real-time messages, but the left-hand side are just messages that I have not acknowledged yet. So here I can just like click check and acknowledge that I've read it. Let's actually just go through all the chats really quick. Abdelhamid is asking, why did I not want to install that thing globally? And what we're talking about was the npm check updates package. So I just like to be very careful with the things that I install globally. When you install it globally, it's available on your entire machine. It's not just installed in one individual folder. When you run npx, it just downloads it once and then uses it, and then yeah, so it's just a personal preference. You're totally welcome to. The other thing about running it from npx is every time you run it, you're going to get the latest version. Whereas if you install it globally, that globally installed version could get outdated. But yeah. Hello, Danielle. Welcome to the stream. Andre is talking about log averages and bar visualization. That's interesting. Salman says, try using Golang for backend. It's an amazing language. Greg says Google constantly changes their OAuth too. Yeah, I think what happened was just some like late night coding. Like I had built this on stream, and then one night I was like, all right, I want to get Google OAuth working so that I can list live streams. But I don't think I actually got it working. so we'll need to get that working. Yeah. A lot of love for Go in the chat. Cool. GameStep says, have fun coding. Appreciate that. Oh yeah, and then Katoli shared that developer docs that eventually got us where we needed. Hello, Ravi Kumar. Welcome to the stream. Linus says, use natural language processing for automated categorization. Yes, that would be awesome. So like based on a message, you can detect like, is this a hello message? Is this a question? Those types of things. And then it automatically gets a label added to it. And then I could give mods special access to change the labels on the incoming messages based on, yeah, if they do it. Sim John just tried to cross-site script me. Appreciate it, Sim John. But yeah, So essentially what you're looking at though is the right hand side is real-time live chat. So this is you're gonna see a lot, and the left hand side is just little slowly acknowledging them. But if I were to scroll all the way to the bottom, you do see that these are the latest incoming chats. This just allows me to kind of like acknowledge them. There we go. Categories could be welcome, questions, suggestions, and other conversations. I love it. So the other thing about that is like if mods had access to change labels, they could also like label things as side conversations, and like it's totally cool. Like if you all want to talk to each other in the live chat, like that's great. But sometimes, like I have to parse through those messages to know that I shouldn't acknowledge them because you all are talking to each other. And so, yeah, like they could be labeled as other conversations. I like that. Andre says, goodbye, Adobe Flash Player. Infi is saying, I wonder if you could implement some kind of Discord integration. I absolutely could. Like you could embed, like you could intermingle YouTube chat and Discord chat. Like I could show something if the message came in the live chat channel of Discord. Yeah, I'm telling you, the possibilities are endless. Chat's intermingled with YouTube chat. Yeah, love it. Nessie is saying, I remember you have a stream about the Now CLI app. So go to this site and search for deploy. Yeah, so this video, deploy with Now V2, that's when I showed how to deploy it. But if you search for CLI tool, yeah, build an interactive CLI tool with Node.js, this is the one where I built Now config. But I'll just share that really quick. The other thing I need to add to this is the ability for me to send messages, because I can't do that right now, and I just realized that I closed the live chat. So I need to open the live chat back up so that I can send a message. That's when I showed how to deploy. So there's that. There you go, Nessie. Yeah, I guess technically I should just leave that open because I need to be able to send messages. Keep that to the side for now. And I'll leave myself a note. Send a message. But that's where the Google OAuth comes into play, because I need my particular user token to be able to send a message. Oh yeah, thanks Katoli. But yeah, this video search site, you can find most things. I realize that's not the best title because it doesn't say Now config in the title, but that was the title of that particular stream. Katoli says, is that a do while loop? It is. That's funny that like we talked about that on the stream the other day. Because basically I want to make a request for messages. The result of the messages gives me a token for the next page of messages. And so basically, the way the live chat API works is it's not a socket API. You have to actually pull it. So the first request for messages will give me back a next page token, and then I request the next page. The next page actually could be empty, but then I get another next page token, and I just request it over and over again. So the reason this is a do while loop is because I first need to request it, and I don't have a page token. And then after the first request, I do get a page token, the next page token, and then I do it all over again. So the purpose of the do while was I need to do it and then check for the next page token. So yeah. And Nessie found it. That's good. Yeah. Infi is saying, is there a reason you would recommend Chrome over Firefox from a dev's perspective? Not really. The thing is, this might have changed, but there were some very weird Flexbox bugs in Firefox when I attempted to switch over to it. And that was probably about a year ago, around this time when I was building these things. But yeah, so there were certain things that I would do with Flexbox, and it would just have very weird behavior in Firefox versus Chrome. And so I just stuck with Chrome. Those things are probably fixed by now, because that was like a year ago. And that's really the main reason I haven't switched yet. But yeah. Andre is asking about me doing the web audio API. I need to familiarize myself with it a bit more before I do something with it. Hello, Christian. Welcome to the stream. One thing I need to do is I need to label messages as coming from mods, because that doesn't happen. So let's put that in my to-do. Yeah. Yeah, and so eventually I'll do something with the web audio API. I just don't know when. Hello, Linus. I think this is when I told everyone to just send messages to see if this thing was working. What does this button do? I don't know what this button does. What does this button do? Does it delete it? Yeah, I don't know what these buttons do. Hopefully I'm not banning anyone. I think the idea was I could yeah, did I ban anyone? I don't think I banned anyone, but I think the idea eventually was if I clicked this button, that could like send a socket message to OBS, and then OBS could actually display that comment like nice and big for everyone to see. Obviously it's not implemented, and then this could like delete a message. But one thing I'll show is you'll notice these are kind of grayed out. So once I've acknowledged a message on the left, they become grayed out on the right. Excuse me. Hello, Buglex2 from the UK. Welcome. Today we're working with Vue on the front end and Express and Node and Socket.io on the back end. Yeah, so no feathers today, mainly because I wrote this a long time ago with just bare WebSockets. Technically, we could use feathers instead. I don't think I'm going to because it's mainly already implemented, so I'll kind of leave it the way it is. You all make a good point, though. I've been using feathers a lot on the stream. So, like, technically, I could build this with feathers. I don't know. We'll see. Will I ever get cut up on the whole chat? I don't know. There's a lot of chat messages. I think I'm storing the acknowledged chat messages in local storage. Am I? Yeah. Wait. Am I? No. Acknowledged messages. Yes, and so I have the IDs of all the things that I've acknowledged. So if I refresh this page, it's at the same spot I was, and there still are acknowledged messages. Cool. Cool. A YouTube live chat client. Yeah, that's a good name for it. Hello, the Mr. BFC tuning in from Belgium. That's great. Let's take a quick stretch. I don't know. I think the more popular this stream gets, the harder and harder it becomes for me to be able to acknowledge all of the chat messages, which a tool like this is going to help with. Okay. I think the first thing we want to do is make it so that live chat ID is not hard-coded. I think we want a page. Basically, I want to get to the app, and then I see a list of, like, these are all your live events. I can click a live event, and then that's going to show me the messages for that given live event. That's what I want to get working right now. So let's see. Yeah, list out the live events for the current user. Because I think technically, I don't think it's possible to list live broadcasts for another channel. Like, I don't think I can just pass in the Coding Garden channel ID and get back the live broadcasts. Can I? I think this is, yeah, let's see. This request requires authorization. The ID parameter specifies a comma-separated list of YouTube broadcast IDs that identify the broadcast being retrieved. So in a live broadcast resource, the ID property specifies the broadcast ID. Interesting. So if I actually sent the ID of this, let's do that, and we want to request snippet. and content details. This is telling me, oh, no, it's saying the ID is not right. Okay, let's try this. Because if I pass in the ID of this YouTube video, and we only have the API key, execute, unauthorized, I do have to be logged in. And so that gives me back this live broadcast, and there's only one result in it. So I guess technically that could work. We could hit the endpoint that'll give us all of the videos for a user. And so like if you enter a channel name, you see all of the videos, and then you click one to see what's live. I think I want to go that route, because eventually if I want to make this a public app that anybody can go to and upvote comments and like send messages, this needs to be specific to a given channel. So maybe we don't hard code like the channel ID. Like maybe that's part of the deployment, is like which channel are you showing live chat messages for, and it would still require OAuth. Yeah. Okay. I think that's what we need to do. I need to list all videos for Coding Garden. You click the video, that gives us the live chat ID, and then we show the chat messages for that. I think that's the way to go. That said, while I'm thinking about it, would it even be possible to create a live chat? Yeah, so there's this insert message. Adds a message to a live chat. The API currently supports the ability to insert text messages only. Okay. So provide a live chat message resource in the request body. Yeah, so I think it'd be possible to send messages as well. So if we use Google OAuth, we could send messages on behalf of the user. Okay, but we're not thinking about that right now. Right now, we just want to list all of the events that are happening on the Coding Garden channel. Wait, yeah, and what is this on behalf of content owner? Maybe that's what we want. This parameter can only be used in a properly authorized request. This parameter is intended exclusively for YouTube content partners. Maybe that's not what I want. Yeah. It's weird, because I mean, ideally, I would be able to just list live broadcasts for a YouTube channel with a given ID, which I don't think I can do. Yeah, because you have to already know the YouTube ID, which you actually get from a separate endpoint. I can't just say, give me all live broadcasts for Coding Garden with CJ. I don't think. Okay, so that said, I think we need to back out, and we need to go to the data API, which is going to give us all YouTube videos for a given channel. So we're in the data API. If we go to reference and we go to channels list. No, I want like videos list. Returns a list of videos that match the API request parameters. So if we say, is there a way of specifying a channel ID that I want the videos for? I know that the Coding Garden community app is doing something similar, because there is a videos endpoint. I guess technically I could hit that. I don't think I want to. I want to hit the API directly. Let's see. I think maybe I want to do like playlist items, and then there's like uploaded videos or something like that. Yeah, playlist ID. Cool. All right, let's catch up on the chat. I'm sure people are yelling at me. Hello, Jonathan. Welcome to the stream. Hello, Raft. Let's see. Jimmy says, "Hey CJ, your design is just cool." I appreciate that. Yeah, we got a new logo and everything. Katoli's saying keys reset after 90 days of not using them, so that's good to know. No error. Yeah, these are all chats from way earlier when I was getting stuff. Tractor emoji. There we go. Yeah. Cool. Julian says, "Time for curry and beer." That's great. Yeah, this is when everyone was just sending a bunch of chat messages. We're just gonna acknowledge them. Yeah, Simjohn tried to hack me. Hello, this versus that. Welcome to the stream. Stand by for Titanfall in September 2019. Yeah. Unlimited power. You can't force me to intermingle. I mean, I kind of can. Yeah, like you can use the YouTube chat, but what I'm going to be seeing is going to be potentially embedded Discord chat eventually. Yeah, and Ed, you make a great point. I think a lot of other YouTube creators could benefit from something like this. I don't know how many other YouTube creators like pay this much attention to the live chat, because I know really like the bigger a channel gets, the harder it is to manage the live chat, and you see it's just like a barrage of messages. But for some, and especially if we can implement like natural language processing or mods can automatically label messages and stuff like that, this might be a useful tool. And so yeah, I'd love it for it to be open source. You could host it yourself, or if I host it, we would basically just use OAuth so that they can manage their own chat, their own channel. I have to think through the architecture, because if I want this to be a chat manager, that's one thing, but then to allow users to use this same tool to send messages and be a part of the chat, that's like a totally separate view into this data. It's totally possible, but we would need to create an app that handles both use cases. Cool. Julian says they had a volcano wrap from Taco Bell for lunch. That's good. I like Taco Bell. Actually, I haven't eaten lunch yet. What time is it? It's 12:46. We'll eat lunch soon. Ryan is still waiting on GraphQL content. Eventually. It'll happen. Paul is asking why you choose Vue.js for this app. Is Vue.js easy to get started? Vue.js is absolutely easy to get started. I think when I built this app, I was actually very excited about the Vue CLI 3. Because you kind of missed it at the beginning of the stream. This was using the Vue CLI 3 RC11, so it was still a release candidate. It wasn't officially available yet. And so at the time, I wanted to play around with the new Vue CLI, and that's why I used it with this. But yes, it also is easy to get going. Hello, Felix. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I think I'm going to, I'm going to attempt to acknowledge all of these chats. I'm going to take a quick break. And then we're going to come back full steam. We're going to list out live events. You can click a live event. Yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. Coding Train will be back soon. He actually posted on the community tab. He showed a picture of his new setup. But yeah, I think he's going to be back pretty soon. Oh, the button one? Yeah, like what happens if I click this button? Apparently nothing. Infi says Firefox changed their HTML and CSS engines and supercharged the JavaScript engine so you can safely attempt to switch again. I think I might. Really, for me, it was just like I use so much Flexbox, and there were some bugs that kept happening in Firefox. Linus says, I'm not banned. That's good. Yeah, I click a button and the entire chat gets banned. Well, there goes the coding garden. Hello, Krisu. Welcome to the stream. I don't have two chats going. So the right-hand side are real-time messages. The left-hand side are things that I have not acknowledged yet. Wasserfrisch. Hello, welcome. Took my phone, saw a pop-up message, read CJ, and freaked out. Well, welcome to the stream. Domenico says, how difficult would it be to group messages using user handle this way? Not difficult at all, and that's another great feature. So if you want to click a user and see what other messages they've sent, yeah. This will be known as the 2-hour reading chat messages stream. That's ultimately what a lot of these chill streams turn into. It's just answering questions and reading the chat. And hello, JT. It's been a while. Maybe a status/message count at the top might help with keeping track of how far behind you are. That is a great idea. How many chat messages acknowledge versus need to acknowledge. Some things are spelled weird, but honestly, I could probably add that right now. Let's see. So here I have messages. I'm iterating over reversed messages on the right-hand side. The left-hand side is messages. And then when I acknowledge them, I think I move them out of the messages array. Yeah, so cool. And then I mean, yeah, like what if I just do like an H2 right here with messages dot length 235. What? And then out of reversed messages dot length. No. Okay, so messages dot length is not the unacknowledged ones. That's all of them. So, okay, so messages dot length is total number of messages. And I guess I don't really have a way of calculating acknowledged messages or non-acknowledged messages. I think I kind of do. Let's have a computed property. I know I shouldn't be adding features, but I want to see this. Okay. We'll say unack messages. This is just going to return a number, which is the number of unacknowledged messages. So I think this is just going to be messages.length minus the number of keys in acknowledged messages. Because acknowledged messages is an object, I think, where the keys are the ID and true is if it's acknowledged or not. So we'll say object.keys of ack messages dot length. And then unack messages is going to be how many are unacknowledged. I broke it. Messages is not defined. What? Oh, this dot messages. And then this is also this dot ack messages. Cool. So thank you for that suggestion, JT. Belgium represent. Welcome, Jelly. Oh, Robin's here. It's been so long, Robin. I hope you've had a good summer, but welcome. Yeah, Belgian invasion. Let's see. Hands up, those from the UK. Everyone's welcome. Hello, world. You know the thing where coding train cut together all the instances of whoops? In this version, yeah, I remember that. It was called negative 10x engineering. It was great, though. Do this with CJ's videos, but we have take a quick stretch. Then it's just like an hour of me taking a stretch. That'd be great. Cool. Talking about MediaWiki? What is that? Oh, Linus says they're gonna try to do that? That'd be awesome. um, cool. Buglex is saying, can you provide a download link with YouTube video? What do you mean? Like a link to download the video? A link to this source code? I might have put this on GitHub at some point. Oh no, I didn't. This is not a Git repo. I'm gonna push this to GitHub definitely today at least. Cool. Wasserfrisch is saying, I think he's not reading messages. I am. I'm just very behind. As you can see, I'm 62 messages behind the total number of messages. Cool. Cool. Ed Estes says, use event type live param with channel ID in your YouTube search to find if a channel has a live broadcast. That is good to know. Okay. Event type live. So it would be possible to say, give me all of the live events for Coding Garden with CJ. And I would have to figure out, like, what is my channel ID? But let's see. Would this be under live broadcast? So broadcast status, broadcast type, event type. So is this for like videos list? Does that have an event type? Where is the event type? Let me know, Ed. But I like where your head's at. Hello, Chandra. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, that's a good call. Buglex is saying I need a timestamp here because there's no timestamps for any of the messages. Let's add that in I have this big long to-do list. We'll prioritize this when I get back from a break. Show timestamp on messages. Titanfall 3 premiere September 20th. Okay. Yeah, timestamp definitely would be good. Look at this. We're going down. We have 37 messages left. There we go. There already is a slow mode for the chat. But I mean, technically, I could build it in so I only see slow messages. But I think I can enable it. Pretty sure it's a thing. But yeah, I can enable it so that you can only send messages every so often. But yeah. YouTube API.search.list. Oh, search. List. Sweet. Thank you, Ed. That was Ed, right? Yeah, Ed. And then there is event type. Yeah, sweet. Yeah, so I wonder if I can do live and upcoming, but should be good. And then in part, I think the only thing we have is the snippet. And then the channel ID. That's great. Let's find my channel ID. Yeah, sweet. If I go, yeah, that's my channel ID, this thing. Cool. And so if I put my channel ID there, I want the snippet. Event type is live. And what if I only pass in an API key? Why? Why does this need Google OAuth? Oh, or let's see. The request contains an invalid combination of search filters and or restrictions. Is it because I can't specify channel ID and event type? Weird. Okay, so I can pass in the channel ID, and under items. Oh wow, this is a really old video. Okay. Channel type, any order, query string, type, video type. Weird. What happens if I pass in my Google OAuth? YouTube. Google API Explorer to see, edit, and permanently delete your YouTube videos, ratings, comments, and captions? No! I don't. It should not require that many permissions. YouTube. Read only. Oh, there we go. Well, no. That's weird. Yeah, I'll have to look into that, Ed. Basically, I don't think it likes if I specify the channel ID and say event type is live. It for some reason doesn't like that. But we can figure that out. Oh man, I have 49 chats to acknowledge now. Yeah. So if you're just joining, the right hand side is real time chat. These are like as a message comes in, it pops up. Oh, Ed says include type video. There you go, Ed. Thank you so much. Okay. Type. Let's see if we look at the type param. We can specify video. And yeah, I don't want Google OAuth. I just want to use my API key. Go. Items. Empty array. Okay, so I said event type is live. Channel ID is that. I don't think there's anything else I can include for part. Set the parameter value to snippet. Okay. What if I just say upcoming events? Nothing. What if I say completed? That shows us intro and overview of Feathers.js. Balancing DVD logo. Okay, so that did give us some things. But for some reason, if I say event type is live, I get back nothing. I don't know. We'll figure it out. All right, see you later, Wasserfrisch. Yeah, see you later. Let's see. So yeah, Buglegs is asking, is this a personal admin app or a public app? For now, it's going to be personal, but I think ideally, yeah, eventually it would be something that anyone could use to manage their live chat or have a more interesting live chat. Hello, Coding Solutions from Vietnam. Welcome. Oh yeah, Robin says they've been busy. That's good. That made me giggle. Christian says someone should do a compilation of CJ giggling. Catching up on the chat. Paramjit says, what tech stack does it have? It has Node and Express on the back end, and Vue on the front end, and Socket.io on the back end. Oh, they're saying in the chat, if this is, so give the user the option to download the video to watch offline if they have really bad bandwidth. Yeah, that'd be. I think there's an idea in there as well, because when you are watching an offline YouTube video, you may not be able to see the live chat. So we could make this watchable offline and have a synced live chat. Okay. Offline watch with live chat. Cool. Yeah, that's the other. Yeah, these are all great suggestions, because this could also be just like a dashboard, so I could see what are the number of people watching the stream right now. Potentially, like, yeah, because there's a new live stream dashboard I have over here, but like, what's the average view duration? How long has the stream been going? That kind of thing. Yeah. So many things I could add to this. Possibilities are endless. Vias is asking, can you use an API key to get events from Google Calendar, or do we need to use OAuth 2.0? I think if it's a public calendar, ideally you would be able to get just the events. I don't know. Yeah, we're focusing on live chat managing. Yeah, Ed said include type video. I guess I tried that, and I am going to take a break, though. I've been streaming for an hour and a half. Going to clear my mind. Maybe I'll come back with an idea for how to fix the thing. Vice is saying, I'm trying to get events on my Node.js server. Pretty much just need a token.json. Um, depends on what you're making. I don't really know what that is pertaining to. Merritt Sean is saying, it's Google's own API. Why would you feel uncomfortable giving those permissions? I don't know. I'm just very wary. um, and also, I just feel like for this particular type of request, I shouldn't have to give over write privileges to my account. But yeah, you're right. This is a Google sanctioned tool, so I shouldn't have anything to worry about. But I also want to see it working without those privileges required, is the main thing. Hello, Mike. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, depends on if it's public data or not. See you later, Andre. Ed is saying, not sure if you need to be authenticated. I built a similar chat moderator tool, and that's how I got the live videos. Okay. But yeah, again, I'll come back to that when I get back. Hello. Impy says, I could see at least one guy making a business out of it. Yeah, I would make this thing totally open source, and if you host it on... Technically, you'd have to host it, I think, on like Heroku, because it does have a real-time aspect to it, which you can't exactly do on now, but yeah, free, open source, anybody can do it. Tejas says, I need a break. I do need a break, but we're almost done. 18 messages to acknowledge. Oh no, I accidentally acknowledged that one. What did it say? Danielle says, I always wondered if there was a way to like chat giveaways where it selects random users want to enter to have a post a certain hashtag. Yeah. And this could automatically organize the users that have given a given hashtag. It could remove duplicates. The possibilities are endless. Endless. Don't talk about Christmas. Yes. Hey, Elka, welcome to the stream. Hello, Elka. With Mike says, I'm very interested in the outcome. Well, at this point, we haven't really coded anything. We just got the thing working. We updated the dependencies. This is like inbox 0, you know, where you don't have anything else to acknowledge. Yeah, I have that on my to-do is... I think I had that in there for mods. Yeah, label messages from mods. I have that. We made it to the end. Cool. All right, I'm gonna take let's say a 10-minute break because I'm gonna get a little bite to eat. But then I'll be back and we'll work on these features. Regardless, this has been fun. We've just been hanging out anyways. Yeah, we made it. We made it. All right, so I'm gonna take a quick break. I'll be back in roughly 10 minutes to keep on coding on this thing. See you then. Hello again. I'm back. I heated up a burrito, which I'm gonna let cool down. It looks like while I was gone, there were 58 messages. Wowee. Daniel says, quick, everyone give him things to acknowledge. Yeah. See you later, Ed. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, I think Linus got into the Discord, which is good. Champagne from May. Eddie says take more than 10. I mean, it was technically 10 minutes, but now I'm gonna like eat my burrito after it cools down. Should be good. Is the Discord link broken? Coding.garden/Discord? Hopefully it's not. Yeah. Look how many members there are. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, it looks like I think he got in, which is good. I think people are just they're spamming me. Oh, I didn't know that. That's interesting. It says, sorry, CJ, it looks like Google changed the YouTube API. I am not getting the live stream video results using the search.list call. I just tested my code, which was working a month ago. Well, it's good to know. Thanks for checking, Ed. I think what we might have to do is list videos. You know what? And I can try this really quick because I think it's api-dev.codinggarden.community. And then we do have a /video route, and I think this requests it from the YouTube API. And let's see, does it have YouTube chat app? That's the old one. I'm trying to see if it has the most recent one. No, so like, I'm pretty sure the video list doesn't actually include the videos that are live yet because they're not technically posted. We may have to go the route of listing live broadcasts for the current user. And then once this is a larger application that other people can log into, from the admin side, you set the ID of the current live broadcast based on that list. And then when anyone else comes to the site, they will just see that. They're not going to select. They're just going to see like what the latest live chat is. I think that's how we're going to have to make it work. Yeah. So there are some mods that are Discord and and YouTube, but honestly, anybody that's a YouTube mod should probably be a Discord mod too. But yeah. Let stream likes equal number of people watching. Cool. Yeah. You were chosen, and it's really just so a lot of the coding train mods, which is what Christian and Alka and Oliver, they're all coding train mods. So I just like instantly made the mods here, and then anyone else that just like helps out and shares links and stuff like that. Yeah, the chosen ones. Buglex, can I recommend a stream for tunes? What are tunes? Yeah, I'm actually not sure about that, but I think so too. Yeah. Avocado versus avocado. With Mike says, acknowledge me. Hello, with Mike's. Welcome. Noble and Savage says, it truly is my birthday week. I caught your streams for the first time and got the chance to watch again. That's good. Happy birthday, Noble. All right, I'm gonna eat this burrito. It had been in the freezer for a very long time. I feel like it's potentially freezer burnt, and like part of the tortilla is really hard. I mean, I'm not gonna eat that piece. It still needs to cool down a little bit. Thank you, Matcha. Hello, Mustafa. Welcome to the stream. Hello, Alana. Welcome. With Mike says spam is tasty but very unhealthy. I like spam too. You know what? You know what? You know what I like? I like spam and fried rice. I think it's like a Hawaiian thing to do that, which is great. I also like spam on Hawaiian bread with like a spicy aioli. Good stuff. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have said that. I hope, like, I don't want to. In my innocence, yeah. What is that? Oh, there you go. You got some mixed hound in the background. Cool. And he says I should have ordered a burrito instead of microwave one. It wouldn't have gotten here. Like, any delivery takes at least 30 to 40 minutes. Oh, tunes, like tunes. I see. I see. In the UK. Okay, I guess that's like slang in the UK. Cool. All right, here we go. I'm gonna eat this. This is a breakfast burrito. It has Gouda and egg and cheese in it. Well, Gouda is cheese. It's awesome. So, with Mike's is asking, is there any good Hawaiian barbecue in Denver? Not that I know of. So there's a couple of Hawaiian um, inspired restaurants. Both of them are actually called Ohana. One of them is a poke restaurant, but it was a poke restaurant before poke became extremely popular, and now everybody's eating at poke restaurants. Um, and it's probably the best poke in town because like it's not like a you know, a lot of poke places they have basically you choose your ingredients and you go down the line. This is not. These are they have their set ingredients. They're pre-made. They do it right. It's really good. That place is called Ohana. And then there's another one that it's like Ohana Island Grill, and they have other things like a spam breakfast sandwich and spam fried rice. Yeah. Carlos says the streamer should generate a link to invite the chat user for the chat manager. I think maybe what you mean is like I could generate a link that I share in the chat, and that could invite people to join this chat where they have all those extra features. That could work. Eddie is asking how easy is it to find food in Denver compared to other cities. I would say it's a large city. So it's on par with a lot of other large cities in that there's lots of different types of cuisine. You're usually not too far from some really good food. And in terms of like delivery, you can pretty much get anything delivered within an hour. Any type of food. And Alka has is this like a music service? Let's check it out. Spotify song overlay. Tired of being asked for the current song? I'm not going to log in, but that's cool. Yeah, people are quoting me now. It has Gouda and cheese in it. It's a Gouda sandwich. It's a good sandwich. Yeah. Simjohn says quality stream. I appreciate that. Oh, and I saw Simjohn has what do you call it? Pledged on Patreon. I guess there's not an overlay for that, but thanks Simjohn for the Patreon pledge. Appreciate it. Tuna, is it chicken or fish? It's fish. Harsh is saying, and hello, Harsh. I think the API for live events, not the user's data one, had an option of type to list all live broadcasts. Live broadcast search, maybe? Okay, list by ID. This retrieves information about a specified live broadcast. It uses the ID request parameter to identify the broadcast. This is, I think, what we were going to do to just list. So we would list videos. However, I don't think that gives us the ID of this particular video because it is live. This one says list by broadcast status. So this retrieves information about active live broadcasts. Yeah, active. And then for this, I think we want snippet. If we do this with just the API key, login required, read only, go. And then that returns one item, which is the current stream. But that's for the currently logged in user using Google OAuth. But I think that's just the way it's going to have to work. We're going to have an admin panel where I can choose that, and then everyone else logs in and they just see the chat for the currently selected live stream. That's what we're going to have to do. We're not going to get to all of that today, but that's what we're going to have to do. Cool. Yeah, poke is good. It's if you like sushi, you'll probably like poke, because a lot of times it is raw fish, tuna or salmon. Wow, so Linus is trying to make a supercut video. I have 253 videos. So if you only grab the live streams, I think it's like 160 or something instead of 253 because I used to use this channel to upload like some classes that I had taught, and those aren't live streams. Though in some of them I actually do take a stretch. But yeah, that's going to be a ton of, especially if you're downloading them at 1080p, it's going to be a lot. Oh, links aren't parsed yet in the chat manager. That's true. We should probably like parse this stuff as. Oh, you know what I could do? I could allow users to send chats that are markdown, and this will automatically show them as markdown. Oh, With Mike's lives about 10 minutes south of Denver County. That's cool. Yeah, Linus is going to be downloading videos forever. Cool. See you later, Noble and Savage. Thanks for tuning in. All right, finish my burrito, and then we'll code this thing. Simjohn says, how long are you going to stream today? At least another hour and a half, I think. Yeah. This is a Gouda egg and potato burrito. I mean, I could be seen eating. I also like to eat over the plate so I don't get crumbs all over my keyboard, you know? That's why I do this. You can see it. Buglex2 says, can you explain what a burrito is for UK viewers? You have to have burritos in the UK. I feel like that's a thing. I'll explain it in JavaScript form. So burrito is when you have lots of goodness on the inside, but it has an outer wrapping, usually a tortilla. Comparing that to code, I don't know how I would compare that to code. Yeah, so Christian Weekman says class burrito. So yeah, class burrito, it would have some instance properties, which are fillings. Could be an array of fillings. This one in particular has egg, potato, cheese. I'm sure it has spices. And then it's all wrapped up and folded nicely, so you can eat it handheld most of the time. I've only eaten on stream like twice before, and my number of viewers is going up. So like, you all are not signaling to me that I should stop eating while streaming. Yeah, mukbang is the term where people eat while they're live streaming. I think it originated in South Korea. Hmm. I didn't think about that though. Technically, the Code Wars episode where I ate chicken wings, that was like mukbang. It was like mukbang and coding all in one. Okay, I think I'm ready. Jermon Cruz is asking, do I have any tips on live streaming? My tips are to, if you're going to do it, be consistent. I'm not very consistent, but I have built up a large enough fan base where when I do go live, people do watch. But when I first started this channel, I was streaming 5 days a week. And yeah, so first tip is be consistent. Second tip is interact with your audience. And also always behave like there is an audience watching, because the majority of my viewers actually watch as a video on demand versus like being there live. And so if you treat every live stream like you are live and like there's lots of people watching, eventually those videos will feel less outdated and people will watch them and want to tune into your live stream if they weren't there when you were live. If you go way back in my channel, you can see there are some streams that now have like a few thousand views where literally 2 people were there when I was live. But they potentially do have like rewatch value. So yeah. So those are my tips. Like, for one, just do it, be consistent. Always pretend like there's a million people watching, even if it's just 2. And interact with your live chatters, with your community, because they're the people that, like, that's who you're doing it for, right? Like, you're doing it so people watch you stream. Yeah. Yeah, I explained what a burrito was in JavaScript form. Oh wow, cool, Katoli. Yeah, Katoli. Don't feel like you have to stick around, but that's great. They said that there's a band in their town that's celebrating its 200th birthday, the oldest band in Spain, and they're going to the celebration. That's great. Sounds like fun. With Mike's maybe doesn't like watching me eat, but I'm telling you, look, the number of viewers has not gone down since I started eating that burrito. So like you all are reinforcing the fact that I should eat live on stream. Yeah, so we have a class burrito. You're choosing the channel ID in the broadcast API, so which channel ID it uses, the logged in user? No, so I think the channel ID would be for my YouTube channel, but we'll see. Yeah, we'll figure it out. So in the UK, a burrito is called a wrap. I think so. Technically, in the US, like there's a difference between a wrap and a burrito. I feel like. What is that difference? I don't know, but there are definitely things that are called wraps, and there are definitely things that are called burritos. Yeah, I like that. I like that differentiation. Wraps are cold, burritos are usually warm. Yeah. There's also another thing called a chimichanga. A chimichanga is a deep fried version of a burrito. Those are actually really good. Class burrito extends fajita. I don't know about that. That'd be I mean, you could have a burrito with fajita fillings. So yeah, maybe. And hello, Lord of the Sky. Welcome. Yeah, what should CJ eat next? Analytics show you should actually start eating on stream more. Look at that! The number of viewers are up. I'm telling you. It's working. Yeah, eat a Carolina Reaper live. That just would not end well. Those things are extremely spicy. Like the peppers themselves are so much more spicy than the sauces that are made with them. Like it's insane. Yeah, we're gonna pivot the stream. Pronunciation is funny. Simjohn is saying, what stickers on your MacBook are you especially fond of? Definitely the coding rainbow sticker, because that's technically against the law, because he had to change his name to Coding Train. But yeah, that's an OG coding rainbow sticker. Let me see what else. This one's cool. My friend gave this to me. I think when I was leaving Galvanized, it was like a going away sticker, but it's a skateboarder. And then I made it so they're doing like a backside lip slide on the Next logo. Yeah. CJ should go on Hot Ones. The number, like the people that go on Hot Ones are like even like B-list celebrities. No more people know who they are than I am. Like why would he ever have me go on that show? But it would be fun. What if he comes on my show and I teach him how to code while eating hot wings? That would be interesting. I'd be all for that. Binging with CJ. I think that's a play on binging with Babbage. And hello, Mr. Terrible. All right, Elka has the code. Burrito.add hot sauce from name Carolina Reaper. We're doing some object-oriented programming. Matthew is asking, what is a WebSocket? A WebSocket is a way of having a persistent connection to a server. So when you go to a website, typically it's kind of like one and done. So if I go to google.com, it makes the request for Google. Google sends back the response. Maybe there's some subsequent requests, but after a while, it's done. Now Google is, I have it, it's here, and now if I start interacting with it, it'll potentially make more requests, but there's no more connection to the Google server. A socket is a persistent real-time connection. So technically, this Vue app that I have open right now has a persistent connection to this backend app. So when I load this page, it opens up a connection, and think of it just like a pipe, and that pipe stays open. So at any time, the server can send a new message, or the client can send a message to the server, and there's nothing more really that needs to happen. It's just a persistent, I'm basically plugged into the server. So WebSockets is a way of doing real-time communication because the server can automatically send new data or new events to the client. And that's what's happening in this app here. Like, technically, my backend is connected to the YouTube chat API, which is bringing in the latest chat messages. And then my front end is connected to my backend, which gives it a socket connection so it can see those real-time messages incoming. Bohan asking what I'm making. I'm going to be expanding on this live chat manager. So what you're looking at is on the right-hand side, these are real-time messages. On the left-hand side is messages that I haven't acknowledged yet. And that's one of the benefits of this is I can acknowledge the message, and that way I don't have to like scroll up and down, and I can keep track of what's been sent. I like hot sauce too. Got a Carolina Reaper curry from Iceland in the UK. That's my tea for Sunday. Ooh, interesting. Yeah, ate that burrito. I am energized. Never forget 8-hour streams. Yeah, I think eventually I want to do something like that again. I'll definitely do that for 100,000 subscribers, maybe even 50,000 subscribers. But yeah. The longest live stream I did was that 8-hour live stream. I think if we just search for like 8-hour, 8+ hour live stream. I think, was that for 10,000? I think that was 1,000. Oh yeah, there's a video for 1,000 subscriber. Thank you. But this one. I think I did this as a celebration for 1,000 subscribers. I'm now at 14,000. I used to have my fish on stream. Yeah, I don't know. But that was the longest one I've ever done. It was 8 hours of streaming. We do eat with CJ. That'd be fun. All right, I'm gonna stop catching up, and we're gonna code this thing. So the first thing I wanted to do was list out live events for the current user, and I think we're just gonna have to use OAuth. Eventually, this will be like an admin view versus a user view, but ultimately, I think the endpoint we want is a live broadcasts list. And I believe it just needs, for now, it just needs read only. I think eventually, if we want to be able to send messages, it'll have to be a write permission as well. Yeah, so we just want snippet. No filter selected, so broadcast status is active. There we go. And then there's a way to expand this. So this is the URL that we want to hit. Let's actually just copy this curl, because this is going to be essentially the request we need to make on the back end. So I think we'll put this in routes. Maybe we'll have a route that just says like list streams, because right now we have messages, we have authors. We probably want a route for streams, like what streams are available. And this information is what we need. This is the curl, but we can turn this into a fetch. So we need to pass in the API key. We also need an access token, but for now, let's just see what happens if we try to just make this request with the API key. And let's create some other variables. So we'll say streams URL. That's going to equal this. We're going to do something like this to create the params, but these are the params that we need. And then this was a function that we made. Well, it's not a function. It just does it in line, but it takes an object and then converts that into a query string with entry equals value. So really, we should turn this into a function. So let's say function create query string that takes in takes in an object. I don't know, we can think of a better name, but then it just returns that. Let's call this entries. No. We'll just call it obj. And this gets removed. We pass in obj. That does the thing. Now here we say params equals create query string with this object. like that. Hopefully our backend's still going. It restarted, but if I refresh the page, something broke. Negative 422 out of 72. Oh, you know what? It could be, yeah, so that's what it is. When the server restarts, it doesn't have the entire history of all of the messages. And so that's what happened. My backend restarted, and now there are more acknowledged messages in the, in the UI than there are actual messages. So yeah. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, so Alka is mentioning there's this thing built in called the URL search params. Is that built into Node though? Can I use that in Node? I'm on the server side. I don't know. I like my little function. We're gonna keep using it. So here we'll say const params equals create query string with an object that has part, and the value is snippet, and then it has broadcast status, and the value is active, and then it has key, and the value is process.env.google API key. Cool. So we should be good there. I think one thing we're going to run into is we don't have a token. So whenever we make this request, yeah, it's not going to work because we need the bearer token so that it lists live broadcast for the current user that's logged in. Okay, but regardless, so we have that. We can create our URL, which is going to request those streams. And we don't want the messages URL. We want the streams URL. Let's just log. Well, I don't want to log that URL because it has my API key in it. So that should do that. And then we'll just try to make a fetch request against it. So say response equals await fetch with that URL. We'll have the result, which is going to be await response.json. This needs to be an async method. And then here we'll just res.json the JSON data. Like that. No errors. And now if we try to request it, this is localhost 5000/streams. And it gives us the error login required. So we're going to, maybe we add our own query string here that is, or actually, no, we can include it in the header and then forward it in the header. But we need a user's token to list that user's live streams. And in this case, we need my token. So this is where I think we need to get OAuth working. So I had this set up. I haven't mounted it yet, but it looks like I have it going. So we're bringing in Passport. We have this route, which is /Google. So this is auth. This would be auth/Google, which will then redirect to Google to request read-only permission for that user. And then the callback should eventually get access to the token that was created, access token, and then they redirect to callback.html. Okay. This is code that I wrote, and I don't think I ever tested it, but we're going to try it now. One thing I need to do is I need to mount this auth router in my main app. So, oh, I am bringing it in. So here's auth. Oh, and I am mounting it. So I'm doing it /auth. So if I go to /auth/Google, it should redirect me to the Google OAuth page where eventually I'll get a token. So if I do /auth/Google, here we go. I'm going to log in with Coding Garden. I'm going to hide my screen for a second because this could potentially reveal like my user access token. This app isn't verified. This app hasn't been verified by Google yet. Only proceed if you know if you know that you trust the developer. So this is what I'm seeing right now, which is totally fine because it's like in testing. So let's go to Coding Garden. Coding Garden wants to access your Google account. These are the permissions that it is asking for. See, edit, and permanently delete your YouTube videos, ratings, comments, and captions? What? will be able to see, edit, and delete your videos, playlists, and subscriptions, rate videos, as well as post, edit, or delete your comments and captions. Geez, if we just look really quick at the scopes, we'll see why it's requesting that privilege, but I don't like that. I shouldn't need those. Honestly, actually, I think I will need those privileges if I want to send a message on the user's behalf. But if we look back at how auth is set up, so here we're requesting YouTube read-only, and then we're requesting YouTube. Potentially, this is the one that requests like edit rights to YouTube. I don't want that. I'm going to comment that out, and then we're going to try this auth flow again and see if that doesn't show up. Let's try again. Oh man, you just saw my API key for like a split second. Don't look. Don't rewind. Don't rewind and look at my API key. Okay, let's try this again. /auth/Google. Here now. That's fine. Continue. See, edit, and permanently delete your YouTube videos. No. Is it youtube.forceSSL that's requesting that? I really just want read-only access. I want read-only access. Let's try again. There we go. View your YouTube account. That's literally all I want to be able to do. Okay, I'm going to hide my screen just in case it shows an API key. So, but I'll just show really quick. So the way OAuth works is in the initial request, your server is requesting certain permissions. And because I commented these out, now I'm only requesting read access. So this token that gets created won't be able to manage my YouTube account. It'll only be able to read the information about it. It won't be able to change anything. And that's really all I need for now. So hide my screen. And that's another thing, like if you all accidentally saw my token that this is about to give me, then it's a read-only token. So, I mean, you could potentially like see my unlisted videos, but you would not be able to delete videos or anything like that. Okay, so it looked like it made it to the callback page. And yeah, so we have the redirect. It set a cookie. Let me look in the dev tools and see what cookies were set. Yep, so it has a cookie called access token. Cool. And then, okay, so what I'm going to do for now is I'm like, this isn't going to be the full flow, but I'm actually going to set an environment variable, which is my access token. And that's what it's going to use to list out the streams. In the future, this would basically be like anybody logging into the app as an admin, it would need to request those credentials. But here I'm just going to say Google token. Cool. So now I have an environment variable. Let's use it, and I'll show what happened. So you'll see here on this is Google/callback. So after I clicked allow, it redirected the user back to here, and then this set a token called access token, and then redirected to this page called callback. And eventually the flow would be this callback page would then post a message to our client, which would now have that access token. But I skipped all of that. I put my access token in the environment variable. So now in the route, so in this particular route, where I needed to specify the authorization header, now I have it in my environment variable, so I should be able to do that. So right here, I can specify options on this fetch and say headers, authorization, bearer, and then I need to include that token that I just created through that OAuth flow. But I'm grabbing this from my environment variables, process.env.google token. And eventually this will not be, this isn't how it's going to work. It won't be an environment variable. This will be something that would need to have been sent in the request, but I'm just going to do this for now to make sure that it works. Accept application JSON. We may or may not need that. Let's see what happens. So now if I request /streams, ta-da! So now we can see that this is the stream that we're at right now. Chill stream working on YouTube Chat Manager. Cool. And this has the live chat ID. Cool. where do we go from here? So now that we have this endpoint, technically we could create something on the front end that there's like a home page that will make this request to see all of your active streams. And then when you click one, that shows you the live chat for that given YouTube ID or whatever. So that's great. So ultimately, I think what we need to do now is go back to the front end and create more routes. Because right now it's a super basic app. Like our front end right now just lists the messages for a hard-coded live chat ID. Eddie says, did I accidentally see it or did you accidentally show it? Yeah. I think I showed it. Regardless, after this stream, I'm going to create a new API key anyways. But basically what I want is, and when I go to this page, instead of immediately seeing the chat, I should see a list of all the live events. And then when I click a live event, then it will show the chat associated with that live event. So that's what I need to work on. Let's catch up on the chat. I think one thing I'll do is I will clear all the acknowledged chats. Right now it's just in local storage. Actually, I can just clear everything. This is like just from testing other things that were on port 8080 in my browser. There we go. Now there are 72 messages. I definitely acknowledged all of these. Yeah. Buglex says, when you start your stream, you say hello friends, so you need to add an S to the sticker. Yeah, it just says hello friend. You're absolutely right. That would also be an interesting supercut. And Linus, if you're able to download all of my videos, I don't know if you're going to, but if you are, let's chat, because there's a lot of other cool things we could do, like doing a supercut of every time I say hello friends, or stuff like that. I don't know, let me know. Pijo, you did not miss the programming. I think you just saw. But this really is just more of like a hangout stream. But we're figuring stuff out. Yeah. Not a lot of coding happened. Lord of the Sky is asking what's the backend built in. It's built with node.js, Express, and Socket.io. And Passport. The stream is 2 hours old now. Does it say that in the data? I don't know. Hello, Pranjal, who says, when will there be a 6 hour live long stream? 6 hour long stream. Maybe when I get to 30,000 subs. We'll see. A 24-hour stream? If YouTube ever becomes my primary job or my primary source of income, then yes, I might do a 24-hour stream. But for now, I need my rest. I have a real job. Lord of the Sky is saying the default logging made me think of Nest.js. It's really, I think it's just a logger that I have set up. Yeah, I think I installed Morgan to do those loggings. Linus says 8-hour live stream. I have to download that. That's going to be a whole lot of stretches. I'm pretty sure my break timer was on during then. Yeah. Eddie is saying, Guitar CJ, have you ever gone into EDM? I have been a fan of EDM music, and I've been to EDM festivals and shows. I don't know exactly what you're asking, but yeah. Yeah. And yeah, Buglex got it. This isn't my main job right now, so I do other things. I'm not familiar with Mr. Beast. Is that a YouTuber? Hello, Takadine. Welcome to the stream. Yeah. Alka says URL search params exists? What? Okay, let's just try it. We're going to open up like an interactive node console. Is it a global variable? Oh my goodness, it's a global variable. You don't even got to require it in? That's cool. Okay, appreciate that, Alka. I should probably just use that instead. Will I? I don't know, because it's working, but it's good to know that it exists. Yeah. Katoli says, why a do while loop? Yeah, we talked about this earlier, but basically it needs to make the request once without having a page token, and then it makes it while there still is a next page token. So that's why I did do while. It's like, do it while something is true, rather than checking for while true, because it's not true yet until after the first time it's done. So. Or yeah, I guess if you concatenate it, then it implicitly. All right, let's just do it really quick. Okay. Because technically I could do this. See if it works. It works. I think the server restarted, right? Yeah. Thanks for the tip, Alka. That is that's less code. Less code is good. Let's change this one up here too. And we should be able to request messages. Cool. Good to go. Yeah, -422. It was because I had, so for whatever reason, when the server restarts, it's not getting all of the past live messages. It's only like a certain amount, especially because it's like using a certain page token. I could do something to where it always gets all of the live chat messages, but that's not there yet. Lord of the Sky says they have been playing around with TypeScript and they strangely fell in love. Have I ever tried it? Yes, I've tried it. I don't really like it, but it has its uses, and that's a thing. Yeah. No TypeScript. I'm like I said, TypeScript has its uses, but I don't like it that much. Yes, and that is my point of view. Like, JavaScript is meant to not be strongly typed. It's meant to be dynamic, and there are, for me, a lot of times typings get in the way of just programming. So you have to be a lot more verbose. Which, like I said, it has its use cases. There's a time and a place for typing, and but it's not always, and that's my opinion on it. TypeScript is like a swear word. Yeah. Oh, did you guys get my API key? I'm pretty sure that API key can only it's a read-only API key anyways. So cool. Everyone just wasn't looking when that happened. That's great. That I'm pretty sure that API key is just read-only, but you know what? You're right. The only thing is it breaks all my other sites, but yeah, it's fine. And if someone did go in and delete all my videos, I think I'd just start over anyways, right? Like, you know, what's the big deal? Credentials? Yeah, I'm just gonna delete it. The only thing is that API key was the same one I was using on my video site, so that technically breaks the video site until I redeploy, which is totally fine. All right, so we have a new YouTube API key, and so now, if we try to go to localhost 5000 messages, and I realize my screen isn't showing. What? That key, oh, because, I don't know. That key shouldn't be working. Usage limits, key expired. Wait, I thought I just... Okay, maybe I need to... Oh! Now that I created an API key, I think I need to re-enable certain services. And I realize you can't see my screen. I'm just trying to prevent exposing that API key again. Let's see. It shouldn't be an expired key. That's really weird. But if we go to library, is the YouTube data API v3, is it enabled? It's enabled. Okay. Maybe it takes a second for the API key to start working. There we go. It's working now. Done. We have a new, let me just make sure that, yeah, so we have a new API key. We're good to go. The first line of the description has a URL typo? Of this video? Oh, yeah, donate. Done. We have a new, yeah, someone talked about that earlier. I think what I need to do is just make this URL work and redirect to the correct URL. Because I think at some point I mass updated all of my videos, and this typo is probably wrong on several videos. So I think I just need to make that URL a valid URL. Yeah. It's too small to read. Yeah. Someone could technically go in, pause the video, enhance. Yeah, but better safe than sorry. We're all right. Cool. Yeah, we can chat later. Sounds good. That's true. Yeah, I do have an older CSS sticker that has a similar font. I could technically... Yeah, this one. I could technically cut the S off of there, attach it right there. Yes. Yeah, that's a good suggestion, Bohan. So I think, yeah, and oh no! Oh no! You saw all my API keys again. Dang it! Ugh. So really, I need to revoke not only my API key, but my OAuth keys as well. Dang it. That's unfortunate. It's always funny though. Everyone gets a good laugh when I expose my API keys. Now let's see. So my Google client secret, that one's safe. And technically, no, my client ID and client secret and my API key are not safe. My Google token is safe because you only saw half of that. There's like a big old thing of that. So, okay. I need to revoke my OAuth key too. Reset secret. There we go. Yeah, so I don't have to revoke the client ID, but I can reset the client secret for OAuth. That's good. And then I need to recreate another API key. It's always fun. Always fun. Cool. And it seems to always take a second before that new API key I created is actually available. Okay. Where did Chrome go? I apparently quit Chrome. Yeah, and I can't see the live chat yet because my my token isn't ready. So here we are. Try again. Try again. It's really weird because I just generated the API key, but for some reason it, yeah, there we go. Now it's working, and if I refresh this, there we go. -4. This is also that issue of because the server restarted. There are some acknowledged messages that aren't there. There we go. There we go. Let's see. I think we caught up with all of these. Alka says if you just keep the API key showing on stream in your mind, no one will notice it showed by the time you switch scenes. Wait, what? I don't know. Yeah. Yep, so I showed my API key again, but it's fine. I have a new one now. Technically, VS Code has that built in, but I have it turned off just because it's very annoying to... So it's annoying when I'm working on other apps because it'll be hidden and then I'll think that I don't have a .env file, but VS Code is just hiding it from me. I don't know. There's not like an ideal situation. Yeah, technically I could hide them in VS Code, but like I said, I'm glad that is entertaining to some people. Yeah. It would be different if I was running a Black Hat YouTube channel. That's true. We don't have a lot of people that would attempt to exploit things using my API key. Making a meme. Is it about exposing API keys? Yeah, and welcome, Carlon. I accidentally exposed my YouTube API key, but I reset it, so we're good now. Perfect timing. Oh, don't mention that it happened. Just switch scenes and play it off. Yeah, you're right. That could help too, but at the same time, for the savvy viewer, they might just be watching for it, and then when it happens, they'll like steal my key. What didn't happen? Yeah, no one will rewind the stream, but they could. There could be that savvy person that's just waiting. Just waiting. It's like coding slapstick. It really is. Okay, so at this point, we now have... This is not my API key. We're safe there. But we now have this /streams endpoint, which lists all of the available streams. So what I need to do is in my front-end app, I need some routing. So I need, on the first page, request the streams, and that will list out all the available streams. I can then click a stream and then show the chat for that stream. So let's get that going. Let's close everything else. I think what I'm actually going to do is create a new Vue app and just copy and paste my code in, because this was created as just like one single component. But I need routing. I might potentially add Vuex. So I'm going to generate a totally separate Vue app. What is this manager client? Oh, you know what? I think I was in the process of like building a full-fledged Vue app. But we're going to ignore that. We're just going to create a new one. Okay. npx at vue/cli create client v2. Excuse me, I burped. We will manually select features. We want Babel. We want the router. Let's include Vuex. And we'll include CSS preprocessors because maybe we'll do some like Sass or something like that. Use history mode for the router. I'm going to say no, just so I don't have to do any custom setup. And we'll use Dart Sass. ESLint with Airbnb. Lots of linting and fixing. Put them in their own dedicated files. Let's go. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot, Alka. So a VS Code extension that it could potentially, if you have your .env file open, you have to click a button to actually reveal the contents. I like that. The only issue with that is the thing that happened here is I already had the .env file open. I didn't click on it. It was just open because I was editing it, and then I forgot to close it. So maybe it's like when it loses focus, it automatically hides, and you have to re-acknowledge to be able to view it. I don't know. I like all of that. I like all of that. Quick stretch. Bohan says there's a low effort meme in Discord. I'm gonna check it out. It's loading. Is it in general? Today we are going... I expose my keys. That's funny. Okay, join the Discord and check that out if you haven't yet. Cool. However, not however, I don't know. Levi asks, use material design for the new client? Maybe? Yeah, like why not? I guess I could install Vuetify and we could do that. The demo site displayed the API key, which was per user access. Wow. Okay. Yeah, let's install Vuetify. Why not? So if we go into client v2, there is a command to just automatically add Vuetify. And that will install the Vuetify plugin, which automatically gives us like a layout and everything. Let's do that. Why not? There we go. Rapid development. Configure. Let's just do configure. Use a pre-made template. We'll replace app.view and hello world.view. Yes, that's fine. Use a custom theme. No, we'll use the default of the Beautify theme. Use custom properties or CSS variables. No, I guess not. Which font icon which icon font do we want to use? These are the officially supported material design icons. We'll use those. Use fonts as a dependency. No, thank you. Use a la carte components. No, that means you have to import them individually. I just like having them all available. Use a Babel or a polyfill. No. Yes. Yes. English. Here we go. The following files have been updated/added. Cool. And so now if we do npm run serve, we should get a basic Beautify app. There are some linter errors, but let's see. Ta-da! Cool. So that's great. Let's kill this. Let's kill the other client that was going. Close that. And I'm gonna run the linter to fix all the linting errors. Cool. I think that fixed most of them. And this was saying in app.view, not app.view, in home.view, which is under views, this wants us to have .view on the import. There we go. All the linter errors are found. Now we can start it back up. It should go to port 8080 now because I stopped the other Vue CLI app that was on port 8080. Port 8080. There we go. So that's ready to go. Now let's fix some things. So if we look at app.view, this has our full Beautify app. So we have VApp, we have the app bar, we have the title, which says Beautify, material design. Let's just say YouTube chat manager. Look at that. We want to get rid of the latest release button. So let's just get rid of that. Cool, so it just has that. That's great. And then it does have the router view, so that's where the pages are getting loaded in. And if we look at our routes, home page brings in the home component. So if we look at the home component, this is bringing in the hello world component. And if we look at components hello world, we can see that this has like the welcome to Beautify and all that. Okay, I'm just going to delete the hello world component. The home page is actually what will list all of the available live chats. So right here, we'll just have a div. Right now, we'll just say, like an H3, select a live event. Like that. Cool. we'll, I don't know, it's gonna look ugly for now, but ultimately what this thing needs to do is it needs to request that endpoint from our backend /streams, which gives us an array of live events. So that's what we'll do. So let's say we'll just put this in a variable, API URL. And then when this component is created, it will make a request for the streams. So let's make this async. And then we'll say response is await fetch with that API URL. And then we'll get the JSON, which is going to be await response.json. Then we'll just log it. So if we look at the console, we get back an object. That's great. Unknown custom element. That should be gone. Yeah, that error isn't there anymore. But we do get this back. And if we look at items, those are the things we want to list out, which ultimately have the live chat ID inside of them. Cool. Let's go to the Beautify docs. and see what we can do. We'll probably create like some cards, like a list of cards. Documentation. UI components. Do they have anything for media? Because we can just look at cards and see what they've got. Because we probably want like an image card, or a card with an image on it. Maybe something like this, and it has some text below it that says like view live chat. I think that's what we'll do. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Look at that. Nice little Twitter card. The thing is, like, now that we're using Viewtify, we could have some pretty decent looking chat cards. Oh yeah. Is this still going? I think the client still might be going, even though I killed it, which is totally fine. Ooh, that's nice. A weather card. Ooh. Okay, we're gonna go with the basic card. This one. Let's look at the code. So we've got a V card, V image, V card text. Actually, I want a list. Can I do a list of cards? No, we'll just do a bunch of cards. That's fine. Bunch of cards. And I'm just going to take this code and we will customize it. So this component needs some data. Data is a function that returns an object. And let's just have an array of events, which starts off as an empty array. And then once we get back this data, we can say like this dot events equals JSON dot items. Items, I think, is the property, which is an array of events. And then here we'll have this card, and basically we want to repeat this card for every item in the event array. So do we want the card actions? I think probably we do. It'll say like view live chat. Not that. And then I don't think it needs any card text. Let's just see what this looks like. That's definitely a card. And so now on a given item, we can grab the snippet property, thumbnails, default, 90 by 120, that's too small. Max res. Oh, but yeah, that should work. So let's copy this path. And really, we want to repeat this V card. So we'll say, let's fix this formatting. V4 event in events, and the key is going to be event.id. I think we have, yeah, event.id, so that should be unique. And then for the event, the image should come from this. So this will be event.snippet.thumbnails.maxres.url. Let's see what we get. There it is. That's very cool. And then the title of the stream is under .snippet.title. So that can go right here. Yeah, perfect. Let's just get rid of that H3 that's at the top. Because basically, I mean, really, there's only ever going to be one live event happening. But we'll go to the site, we see this, I click view live chat, that takes us to this page where we can see all of the chats for that given live stream. Cool. Let's just put this in like a flex box so it's directly centered on the page. if we go to grids, I think this is a flexbox based grid. Align, start, justify. You know what? I'm just going to give it some margin top. I think there are some spacing helpers, like MT, like margin top dash some value. Yeah, let me just try it. I'm pretty sure this will work. But if I say this div has a class of margin top 10, so it should have a, yeah, that works. Cool. All right, so when I click this button, we should go to the route for live chat. So let's do this. This is a V button, and I believe a V button can behave as a router link. Let's see. So if we go to components, button, and if we look at the API, I think the prop would actually be 2, which is the same thing as a router link. 2, here it is. Denotes the target of the link. You more info can be found on the 2 prop of the view router documentation, but we automatically get access to that on the V button. And so what I'm going to say is this button should go to, and we're going to bind it to be an object. And the name of the route we want to go to is chat. And then we'll pass in some params, which is just going to be the ID. And we'll say the ID is event.snippet.livechatID or something like that. I can confirm that by looking in the console. Event, which is this, dot snippet dot live chat ID, which is that. Like so. Okay. So now, when we click this button, it tries to take us there, but that route doesn't exist yet. So let's create that route. So if we look in router.js, we want a page which is going to be like /chat/some ID. The name of this route is going to be chat. And then the component is just going to be the chat component. Let's take a quick stretch. Should I call it chat manager? I don't know. We'll call it chat. And then I'll create a view called chat. And when it loads, it takes in the live chat ID, and that's what it will use to request messages. So let's create a new view. I'm just going to replace the about one. Let's rename this to be chat.view. We'll say this is the chat page. Get rid of that class. And then in our router, we'll need to import it in. So let's import chat from view/chat. So now that exists. And here we should be able to put in the chat ID. So if I do $route.params.id, we should see the chat ID of the thing that we clicked on. Okay, so we're here. We click view live chat. We go there and it has the chat ID there. Cool. And so now we just need to pass this chat ID to the backend so that way we can get all the list of all the messages associated with that particular chat ID. Cool. And really, this ultimately just becomes this component, which we were coding before. So this is our message component. I think I'm just going to copy it, and we'll create a component over here called message. Cool. That's our message component. And then we need our app.view. This is really just going to be our chat component. Definitely gonna have to change a lot of stuff, but yeah, that's it. And then we need to import message from, go up a directory, go into the components directory and grab the message. I think it wants .view. And then we do need to import or install socket.io client in this client v2. So yeah, it's missing it, but we'll do npm I socket.io client. And are these chats getting updated? Yeah. Oh, Bohan mentioned we don't even need class equals. We can just do it as an attribute. I think that's only on certain types of element. Like if I did it on this div, would that still work? Or does it have to be like a Vuetify element? Let's see. Yeah, it didn't quite work. I think if I put it on the card, yeah, if I put it direct, I think if I put it the mt-10 on the card, it would work. But for just regular elements, you still need class. So that's cool. Buglex is asking why I used npx. Yeah, npx will run a thing without globally installing it. Yeah. Stands for execute, definitely. Matcha could use some tea. All out of beer. Cool. They're in the future. What? My favorite CJ stream, top 10 beaches. That was because of when I copied and pasted it, wasn't it? That's funny. Okay. So what we do, we just installed socket.io client. So this thing shouldn't be complaining anymore. Let's actually run our linter. Cool. And those are some unfixable errors, or not auto-fixable errors, but we can fix those linter errors. Because basically, when I coded this app before, I didn't have a linter or anything, and now we have a linter. So if we go to the chat component, I think there's still some stuff going on. Messages is already declared in the upper scope. I guess technically we could call this data because it's coming back from a socket event. Yeah, that works. This wants this to be a triple equals. Cool, and this says you should not mix v4 with vf. But what if I want to? Okay, so that's great and all. I think technically this will sort of kind of work. Let's try it. So if I click view live chat, yeah, see, it kind of works. The only issue here is we need to dynamically pass this live chat ID to the backend server. Yeah. Cool terminal background. Thanks. These are just emojis. Ed is saying feature suggestion: a button for marking all messages as acknowledged. That's a great suggestion. We'll add it to my long list of things I'll never get to. But I mean, really, ultimately, these are all just like awesome ideas that once implemented will make my life easier. Will make the things more interactive and engaging. But yeah, cool. So I think. So I've been streaming for a little over 3 hours now. I think the last thing I'm going to do is I'll make this so that this page actually uses the live chat ID from the URL, and that's what it sends to the server to get the live chats. This will take a little bit of architecting because right now the server actually, it's written in a way that there's only one live event happening at a time. And if this app were being used by multiple different people for multiple different live events, that would have to change a little bit. But I'll see what we can do. But basically, if we look in this chat component, this thing, it does make an initial request, I think. So like when it's mounted, yeah, it makes a fetch request for messages and a fetch request for authors. I think we want to include that live chat ID for both. So let's grab the ID from the route params. Like that. And then we'll pass it in the query string. So we'll say messages where ID is equal to ID. And it's basically this is the unique chat ID. And really we're listening for messages / a given chat ID, I think. And then we'll emit a specific event based on the chat ID, and this is listening for authors / ID. Yeah. I think the other thing about acknowledged messages is this should actually also be unique to the ID because yeah, I think it should. I don't know. Regardless, let's fix the backend now. So now our backend route needs to take in the chat ID, and that's what it's going to use in its requests. And then also for emitting real-time events, it will emit an event that's specific to a given chat ID. So technically, it could be listening for all kinds of chat messages and such. Okay, so let's close all this stuff and go to the backend code. Server. Routes here, get latest messages, and we can see that the live chat ID is essentially hard coded in here in these get latest messages. What I think we need to do is we need to have an object where the key is the chat ID, and then it has messages by ID, and authors by ID underneath it. So it'll look something like this. We'll have live chats. That's an object. And then it would have a key that looks like that. And then its value is an object which has messages by ID, and authors by ID. Something like that. So let's start live chats off as an empty object. And then when we request all messages, I think we'll do a check. So get / messages. We need to get the ID off of the query string. So we'll say const ID equals rec.query. And we'll say if live chats at ID, then we're going to respond with live chats at that ID dot messages. Actually, we'll always respond with that. And here's what we'll do. We'll say if not live chats at ID. So if it doesn't exist yet, then we actually need to fire off listening and polling for those messages. So if it doesn't exist, we're going to create it. So we'll say live chats at ID equals that object with all of these properties. So we'll say messages is an empty array. I think we want to do messages by ID. Yeah, messages by ID, authors by ID. Where are we? Here. Both of these start off as an empty object. And then because this didn't exist, then we can fire off starting to listen for messages. Here, get latest messages. And that needs access to I/O. That's tricky. Let's take a look at our app. So I/O is our socket server. Yeah, we need a way of dynamically getting access to that. I guess we could use variables in an Express app. I know app.get, no, sorry. Is it app.get? We'll give you a particular configuration variable. Let's look at the API reference for the application. App.get. Returns the value of name app setting where the name is, for example, okay. Name is one of the strings in the app settings table. Can I specify things that are not strings? Like, what if I did this? What if I said app.set, and then the value is IO, like that. So that's that. This would, wait, what did I just get rid of? Yeah. That would set the IO variable, and then I could get access to it inside of a route. Oh, but then I don't have access to the app. Womp womp. I guess I could set it on the router, because technically I'm importing this router. Is that a thing? Let's just try it. And then right inside of here, when you go to get messages, can I say const io equals router dot get io? Let's just log it. So it sets IO from the outside world, and then it tries to get it on the inside from the inside. Router.set is not a function. Okay, that's not going to work. This is really the case where something like configure functions in Feathers.js would really come in handy, because we have like this nested part of our app that needs something that's defined on the outside. Okay. The other way to do this is if we actually create this IO in a separate file. Honestly, yeah, let's just do this. Let's create a file called like socket. Socket.js. This has a function called like set IO, where this takes in IO. And this module will have like an object called, I don't know, I guess technically this could have an object called IO that initially is null, but when we call set IO, we say IO equals IO. I don't know if I like that. I kind of want this to be a nested object. Let's call this like settings. No, what do we call this? Let's call this app. It's an object. IO is initially null. And then when you set IO, we say app.io equals IO. This could be a lowercase IO. And then this thing could actually just export this object. App. So you can import this in. Somewhere else, it can call set IO, which is going to set the IO variable. And then elsewhere, I can just say app.io, and it will have a value. That should work. So now in our index.js, we'll import socket here. Then I'll say socket.set IO. Then I'll pass in IO. Is that what I called it? I capitalized it. IO. IO. Cool. And then now if I require this same file inside of my router, I should be able to get access to IO. So I'll require this in here. Needs to go up one directory and then grab socket. And then right here, I should be able to say socket.io. Socket.setIO. Oh, you're right. Because I'm just exporting the app, I need to put setIO on there. Like that. I don't know. weird way of going about it. But technically, that I think this works. So now if I try to go to slash messages, we get back an empty array, but we can see that we have this big IO thing now. Okay, that was a lot of work just to get one thing going, but we got it. So now that we have IO, which is just socket.io, that's what we can pass into this function that needed IO. So this function, which was get latest messages, you pass in IO. So we're going to say get latest messages. We pass in socket.io, and then also we're going to want to pass in this particular chat ID. So this thing like kicks it off. That'll start checking for it if it didn't exist, because then it creates it. It'll call that for the first time. And then now get latest messages needs to take in the live chat ID as a parameter. And now we no longer hard code the live chat ID. And whenever we call, yeah, does it call itself? No, it doesn't call itself. It's basically just an infinite loop that just keeps requesting the next page forever and forever. And so now these variables should be coming from live chats. And so we should be complaining. It's not. Do I have a linter installed? I don't have a linter installed. Let's install a linter in my backend code. We'll do npx eslint. Well, no, let's install eslint and then we'll npx it. As a dev dependency, eslint. Cool. Then we'll do npx eslint -- init. Enforce code style. We are using require and exports. This is backend code. We're not using TypeScript. We're running inside of Node. Use a popular style guide. Yeah, I guess we'll just use Airbnb. JavaScript. Install it. Cool. And then, oh, that's unfortunate. I usually like all my code to be under like an src directory. All right, let's reformat all of this. So I'm gonna create a source directory inside of server. We're gonna move index.js into there, move it. Update the imports, yes. We're gonna move socket.js in there, move it. Update the imports, yes. We're gonna move routes into source, move it, yes. Yes. Hopefully all these imports just automatically get updated. We're going to move auth into source. Yes. I think public can be at the root. Node modules is definitely at the root. Okay. And we're, in terms of serving static public, we need to go... No, that makes sense because you would run the start command from the root anyways. Now in the package JSON, the start is going to be source/index, source/index, and we have a lint script which is going to run eslint on source. All right, let's try it. Ta-da! If we pass in --fix, it should fix all the auto-fixable things. And now there's a bunch of things wrong with it. But the reason that I did all of that was because I wanted to see what variables do not exist in this function. And it's not telling me that. Like, authors by ID. This technically should be giving me... Oh, I see. And so like this is looking for authors by ID as well. That one needs to change. Let's do this. Basically, authors is going to do the exact same thing. And then this becomes livechats.id at authors.id. And this should only kick it off once. Basically, once it exists on that object, it's not going to kick it off again, so that there won't be really like a race condition or anything in those scenarios. Okay, I'm gonna just reload the window here because I feel like ESLint should tell me that those things are not defined. Hey. It's not. Oh well. I mean, honestly, I think the way to fix this is just we say right here, const author. Well, we can destructure all of it, so we can say authors by ID. Is it chats? Messages by ID? Messages by ID, and also messages should all be destructured from live chats at live chat ID. And then our socket events actually need to emit a particular ID. So this is going to emit authors / live chat ID, and this is going to emit messages / live chat ID. I think that's all I need to change. Let's start it up and see if it works. I know we have some linter errors still, but okay, didn't crash. That's good. And then from the client, if I refresh the page, broken. Cool. Let's see if there's any logs. Messages ID equals that, authors ID equals that. Type error, assignment to constant error, get latest messages, line 65. Oh. I see. Here's what I'll do. Let's say create a variable called live chat that's equal to live chats at live chat ID, and then we'll just access it from the object. So here I'll say like live chat dot authors by dot authors by ID, and live chat dot messages by ID, and live chat dot messages equals messages dot concat. Are those the only place I access it? We'll see. Okay, it restarted. Refresh the page. Authors by ID is not defined. I really wanted my linter to just show me where are all the places where I'm accessing authors by ID. Let's see. Oh, here it is. So we need to do live chat dot authors by ID. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. All right, and then what about messages by ID? That's good to go too. And then what about messages? That's live chat dot messages. But where is messages coming from? Messages starts off as an empty array. I think I do need that variable at least. Yeah, so I think right here I just need to say const messages equals an empty array. Oh, no, I don't. I need to say live chat.messages.concat new messages. And then I don't need a messages variable. All right, that's the winner. All right, what else am I doing wrong? Hey, we did it. Okay, so yeah, now that's specific to an ID. Let me clear my local storage so that way there's not like a negative number. There we go. 71 unacknowledged chats. And The cool thing about this, though, and the whole reason of this episode, I've been streaming for 3.5 hours, but the whole reason we did this was so that now, whenever I'm streaming, I can go here, I can click the stream, which for it's not listed. Why is it not listed? So we have streams error, auth error, invalid credentials. Well, it could be that token I generated earlier is no longer valid. Here, let me hide my screen for a second. Yeah, let me just try going to /streams. Well, I realize one thing I do need to do is in the messages and the authors routes, I really should just return an error if they didn't specify an ID. So really I need to just say like if not ID, return res.json. Well, I mean, really I could create an error. Do I have an error handler in my main? Yeah, I do have an error handler. So let's do this. We'll forward an error if there was no ID specified. Next. Invalid chat ID. And we'll do the same thing for authors. So now if I request /messages, without specifying an ID, it says invalid chat ID. But then if I say ID equals something, it'll request it. So that's cool. I need to generate a new token. So let's do that. If I go to /auth/Google, we'll do this. All this weird stuff is happening, but now if I look in the DevTools and I look at my cookie, that's actually the token that I need. So I'm going to hide my screen. I'm going to grab that token. And I can replace it in my .env, which I'm not showing. Cool. And now if I request /streams, it says invalid credentials because I need to restart the server. Yes. Okay. I think we have done it. Here we are. Here we go. This is the improvements we have made. We go to this page. We see that Chillstream working on YouTube Chat Manager is there. We can click View Live Chat. That takes us here. And now we can see the live chats for the stream. Yay, we did it. CJ plus Hot Wings plus OAuth tokens. That's what drives views. Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, and these are older chats that I acknowledged earlier. Yeah, we talked about MPX, talked about tea and beer, Time Lords. Yeah, Linus says, I didn't leak the tokens, congrats. We were talking about beaches earlier. So yeah, Linus is in the process of downloading all of my old videos to do some processing. 56 videos downloaded, 22 gigabytes, 80 hours of video footage. Wow. Wow. Oh, and Alka wrote a dark theme for expressjs.com. Why not? Why? We should definitely install that. Let's check it out. Ooh. From Jacob Alka Foster in the public domain. Let's install it. Nice. If we go to API reference, application. Yeah, this looks great. Nice job, Alka. yeah, let's see what Alka is mentioning for that whole IO thing that I had going. So module.exports. Yeah, I was afraid of using this though. But technically I guess that should work because it's inside of a function and it's not an arrow function. But yeah. If we export an object has IO equal to null, and then we have this function set IO, this.io equals IO. Is this all I need? Will this work in the same way? Let's see. It restarted. Let's restart it. Cool. And the app, if I refresh it, works. Cool. Thanks for the tip, Alka. I was just wary of using the function syntax here because I know my way around scope a little bit in JavaScript, but I wasn't sure how Node handled this. But apparently, this function is bound to the context of this object, so it can say this.io equals IO. Very cool. When did Airbnb become an authority in coding practices? They have for a long time now. Mainly just like they write a lot of JavaScript, and so they have their own ESLint rules that a lot of people follow. Yeah. I think the B&B in Airbnb actually does stand for bed and breakfast. It's like air, bed and breakfast, but air meaning that it moves around and it's not static because anybody can list their place on Airbnb. I think that's it. Hello, Andreas. Welcome to the stream. Hello, Kakashi from Morocco. That's great. Drinking a cup of tea after eating spicy food makes the tea a bit spicy. Yeah, it does. That's cool, though. Christian says, show us your token and we can tell you what's wrong. That's okay. Terminal says the hardest part about streaming has to be the potential of leaking credentials. Absolutely. And passwords. Like, yeah, you gotta be careful. All right, we did it. Yeah, there's a few more to ignore. Oh, I think I'm about to go negative. Watch this. Hide the screen. Ed is reminding me to put it on GitHub later. I will absolutely do that. I'll throw the link in the description and I'll throw the link in Discord when I'm done. All right, we're going into negative acknowledgements. And yeah, I didn't leak a token. Congrats. Bacon says, I want flaming hot Cheetos. I do too. Maybe I'll go get some after this. Fernando is asking, cool idea for projects on the 100 Days of Code challenge. I don't know. You can check out 30 Days of JavaScript. That has plenty of good ones on there. If you look at some of the Noob Quest streams on my channel, search for CG- well, I'll share this URL, but if you look at Newbie Tuesday, there's a lot of like random things we built that could help, could potentially be like an app in a day or 100 days of coding kind of thing. If you also search for a Noob Quest, you can see some of the interesting things that we've built as well. Actually, just search for noob. You'll see a bunch of results. Do I don't have the chat window open. Could help, could potentially, shh. There's that. So a feature I do need to add in the future is being able to send a message from this UI, which I can't do yet because I don't have the right access credentials. But yeah. Orlando says, how do I not get tired of coding all day? I don't know. I just I like coding. It's fun. It's fun to me to figure things out and get things working. What's not fun and what you don't normally you don't see as much of on this channel is when I spend 5 hours debugging one little thing, which I actually did. When was this? This might have been like Monday this week. I was coding on a React app for literally 5 hours, ultimately to figure out that I just didn't code things the way I needed to, and I had to scrap all of that code I had written and do it a different way. And that happens all the time. You just don't see it on a stream like this because I try to keep it entertaining. But but I guess the point that I'm making is you have to be extremely positive and not get discouraged when things like that happen. Because that happens to me all the time, but I keep on coding. Yeah, so that's the thing. I don't know. I think I'm gonna go now. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We have this is the making of a series though, because we have this huge list of like what all these super cool features we could add to this thing that would make like a really cool YouTube chat manager. So yeah, upcoming in the future. We'll work on this. Cool. Yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. That was super fun. Oh, it says it's not updating? Maybe it's not. Oh, the socket events aren't getting emitted. Or at least it's not, I'm not listening for those socket events. Yeah. Okay. But, yeah, why are the socket events not happening? Let's debug that before I go. The latest messages weren't showing up. If we look at WebSockets, let's refresh. We can see this. There's no more events getting emitted. Let's see. So in our backend, we're passing in socket.io, passing in the ID of the chat. The ID of the chat is live chat ID. And then I think right here, when we're trying to do io.emit, so this is emitting on authors/live chat ID and messages/live chat ID. If you look at our front end, the chat view, we are listening for those events. It could just be that, I mean, hopefully those events are getting emitted. Let's see. So on the back end, anytime we get events or we get new messages, let's just log right here. All right, send me messages. I want to see if this thing actually gets called. Oh, I guess technically we need to do this. Yeah, new messages on backend. And then if any more messages come in, we should see this logged. Yeah, so that means it actually is listening. However, when it does the emit, potentially the live chat ID isn't getting, maybe it doesn't like the message name that has that big of a message ID, or that has that big of a, yeah, new messages on backend, new messages on backend. So it is emitting it on messages/ID. So if we look at our front end, let's log this ID and make sure that we're using the right ID. Like that. If we look at our front end, listening for messages with ID, and that is the same ID. Cool. Oh, it's working now. I think it's working now. Send more messages? I think it's working now. Maybe I didn't refresh the page correctly. I guess technically, if we look at the socket, do I know PHP? I don't. So yeah, it's working. Maybe it. Man, I don't like that. I don't like when I do absolutely nothing and it works. You know, there's that classic programmer meme. I want to know why this doesn't work. But yeah, there we go. So yeah, it's listening for messages on that given event ID, and it's now receiving those socket messages. I don't know what changed, but it's working. Who knows? Who knows? Hello, Andreas. Welcome. We're about to end this thing, but welcome. Linus is saying check out tab 9. It's an awesome VS Code extension. Let's see. Uses deep learning to help you write code faster. That's actually pretty sweet. But what does it do? Does it analyze your existing code base? Uses documentation to infer this function's name, return type, and arguments. Uses the format string to determine which variables should be passed into the format function. That looks slick. I'll check it out. Cool. Christian is asking what happened to Newbie Tuesdays. Tony just got busy with life. So Tony's actually in school for, let's see if we can find a picture of him. There he is. There's Tony. He's actually in school for computer science now. He's learning Java. So he's busy with that. And I really just need to find a new noob to come on to the show. Yeah. So Terminal is asking what's the difference here. So the right-hand side are live chats as they come in real time. And the left-hand side is all of the chats that I have to actually acknowledge before they disappear. Buglex says they're here because of the Craigslist app. Yeah, we did that one a long time ago. Web scraping with node.js. Oh, no. This was a different one. There was another web scraping one. It was like the very first noob quest. Because I remember... That's basically how that happened. Tony and I, like, we're old friends. We were chatting. He was like, I've been searching on Craigslist for synthesizers, and he had like this very specific use case. And so I was like, let's make an app together. Like, we could figure this out. That's how it all started. Yeah. Did I start in a junior job? Yeah, I mean, technically I was an entry-level software engineer at my very first job, right out of college. So yeah. See you later, Ed. Thanks for tuning in. All right, are we ready to see this number go negative? See you later, Buglex. Thanks for hanging out. To do debug socket.io shows us API keys. Yeah, I don't think I did. This is the live chat ID. This is not an API key. Cool. These are all the people sending messages to help me out, which apparently it's working now. Jimmy is asking, do I know PHP? I've used PHP before. I wouldn't say I know it. Like, I couldn't just pick it up and start using it. I definitely have to look at the docs and figure stuff out. More. It is working. CJ, observing the problem solved it. Yeah, apparently. I am a pro JavaScripter. Yeah. After studying CJ, you'd think he'd be able to skip college. I probably could have. The thing is, like, the majority of jobs out there want to see a college degree. And when I was in school, I didn't really even know what it meant to be a programmer. Like, yeah, I didn't know. And so there wasn't like the same mentality there is now where like anybody can learn to code. You don't need to go to college. There's tons of online resources that really didn't exist when I was in school. So I don't know what I would have done if I didn't have college. But nowadays, it's totally doable, totally possible. We're all still here. Cool. All right, I'm going to end it there. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. This was super fun. I'm not going to stream tomorrow. I'm taking the weekend off, just trying to chill. But yeah, wherever you are in the world, have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night. And until next time, here's this.